back on his feet now, but again, yes, they can probably get the spike down, but Pitt's got to be the man you watch here. He has to get something done in heaven.
Okay, Pitt, that's...
You very nice, bro. You very nice. You very nice. You very nice. You very nice. You very nice.
Last player standing.
Okay.
Oh.
Very nice.
Okay.
You very nice.
You know, there was a chance for it being exciting. There we go. G2
Apa satu? Anjing.
sorted out. 7-1. I need to reconnect to one of the thingies, so you just have a chat about this round. Have some fun.
Well, I mean, not much else to say. We got the perfect replay for it. I said Pitt was the one that needed to make something happen with that sheriff in heaven. He absolutely does that. 3 back-to-back headshots, shutting down that retake from NIP. Luckily, Zeke still won the duel to secure that round. Sorry. So G2 will post there first. Now, again, let's see whether or not they can build on that at all. As I say that, Mixwell will find Korea very early on here. First 5 seconds brings it to a 5v4 in favor of G2. Now we've got some ultimates online for G2 as well. The Blade Storm again. We've got the Orbital Strike. We've got the Showstopper. Expect G2 to maybe try and make a play around one of those.
Artist working middle. No one fancies that fight. He might have to force it. Yeah, no one's there. You can see the response from the other A's. Chuck a couple of paint shells towards it and hope for the best. Rocket is gonna dwindle down, so not necessarily a waste, because look at the room he's now gonna be able to facilitate for the rest of his team.
I mean, it's just existence here, and the Orbital Strike is perfect, gonna force him back. Luckily, a smoke down for him to retreat into, but Rhyme swinging through the defensive spawn, gonna find Artist there. Gee, G2 kind of got 3 members of NIP boxed in outside screens here, and the wall cutting off the rotation as well.
Spike planted.
If they can maintain this control of heaven here, as you can see, actually Zeke coming over to the top of ropes, Patatek all the way back on ramp here, 2 members of G2 on site. A really good setup from G2.
Certainly is. Rhyme trying to clear back through. Having a look around. Should get... Oh, that's a... It wasn't clean, but it gets the job done. But now there's a problem. Patatek's there straight away. There is no room for error this time. Mixwell is dedicated to the angles, and Chihuahua feeling like a little dog. Surrounded by the big boys here. Gonna have to try and slip away, it looks like. Does get Mixwell on the way out at least, but a quick play back in from Pitt to punish. And it should be now some sort of safety for G2.
Yeah, and again, a lot of these rounds have been back and forth, and looking at it, I mean, yes, NIP now going to be coming back to the lost bonus, but this one definitely isn't going to leave the tank empty. But again, because it's been so back and forth, look at G2's. I mean, 2 rounds back to back. And a big investment on their side. Mixwell again opting to take the operator. I'm not sure really that's what they... yes, drew first blood last round, but the way NIP are playing this, the structure, I'm not sure if the operator on attack here is going to really get much value out of it. I mean, Mixwell's the man to prove me wrong, if any. But 2 ultimates invested there. Showstopper and Orbital Strike coming out. And again, yes, it cleared out elbow there, but Existence did manage to slip back into screens. On the other side, Rhyme's got his Showstopper online. Nothing else really close. I mean, Zeke's close to his res, actually. I missed that one.
Okay. Now, again, I think the traditional attack and defense bias on this map kind of gets put into context when we discuss G2. It always goes slightly out of skew because they're such a very good attacking-sided team. But there is, of course, a lot to be said about the fact that NIP... I mean, everyone on the desk, I think all of us would have sat with probably a 2-0 quite comfortably, but they've been putting up some decent work. I like this. I want to see if it continues. Because it looks like we had G2 find their answers after a pause, where some of you guessed correctly it was about Foon. Well done. Congratulations. I like the quotes of the video, like you especially. But now we have the timeout coming from NIP. So you've already got the answer maybe coming back in for them, but a perfect kind of basic site approach here towards B, just very simple, going through the motions, definitely trying to clear Chihuahua, but a gap, and that creates an opportune moment, and it's a chance to strike, but Artis ensures no more danger comes in, but Ryan with a quick ultimate just going to pile it down. JD! That positioning! JD is so powerful and confident. He takes over that back of sight spot and just turrets it out. JD is making so much difference for this squad.
He's looked fantastic in both maps. In, you know, 1vx situations, whatever it is. Finding first bloods, so good right now. Again, I got to argue, throw 2 slow orbs on backside there, but nobody cleared it. It was weird for Chihuahua to even get 1 kill in that situation. I thought when the second slow orb goes down, maybe they got a sound cue and knew somebody was backside, but just weird, very weird.
We've seen a couple of times now where people kind of go through the motions of clearing, and you know it's just lazy clearing corners. You see it in CS with players with like 10-year careers, but for now Ryan going to be put to the fight and wins it cleanly. No trade available just yet either. Information be found off the boombot potentially. I think they've just slipped away, but now there's problems. Big problems. Pattytech's found a huge opening. That's a massive entryway, but do they expect to play up the ropes? They expected 1 for the second. Pattytech too strong, too smart, too aware. 3 rounds now with G2.
And this is it there, right there's the perfect example, right? So, round score, G2 now, they just take a brawl round there. 3 people swinging up ramp there. And again, it's actually a double stack on ramp from Korea and I believe Existence. Again, wins those first 2 kills and there's nothing else to it, it's brute force. And that's the rounds that G2 can squeeze out. And again, if we close this out 8-4, I mean, dare I say it, expect G2 to have a similar second half?
Maybe. I don't know. This game's too up in the air for me by all accounts. Aggressive start for the defending side towards A. They wanted the ult, and it looks like they've got it at least for now. Investing a fair amount of utility to try and keep some sort of safety towards that. And again, it looks like that's some, you know, similar mid-split towards potentially A at this point. I don't love the spike being with Sage there. It does seem that it's backing away through the sewers and slow progress being made. But Rhyme again controlling middle, and it's Korea this time different angle and a different outcome. At least finds 1 on the way down. Oh god, that's horribly awkward.
Blind. So blind.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, but NIP positioned to punish the revive as well. Not sure if they're gonna realize Patitech's already tucked in hell, but Spike down now. NIP just gonna look to hold this one. Maybe we'll get 1 kill, but position noted. It's gonna be spammed out of that corner now. There you go. NIP will close this half 9-3 versus G2.
Switching sides.
9-3 half. And we said when we watched NIP in that previous one, they do seem to have some tech pause coming in for Pit there, so, or G2 should I say. So we'll give it a sec, but we can talk through kind of what we saw on Icebox on the attacking side for NIP. The defensive side for G2 had a couple of issues to start with for sure, but then you had Pit being the absolute kind of, you know, raid boss and was absolutely incredible at site holding, really good presence, a real nuisance to play around. I think a lot more now will be looked towards, I'd say, Artis and Zeke. Again, this half hasn't been kind to them. So I'm wanting a bit more. And they definitely showed they could provide more once they came back in on that second half on the first map. But again, eyes towards NIP here. Do you think they can apply that same sort of structured approach that they had on Icebox in a map like this? It can lend to it, but do you think they'll be able to make it work?
I've got to say that the key to NIP's success there is shutting down these confidence plays from Artis. He wasn't able to get anything done in the rounds that he was pushing mid, and even when he was playing entry with kind of those 4 or 5 man leans on G2, he wasn't able to find the kill. Yes, sure, maybe he's getting traded. You could argue, yeah, even as a duelist, he's kind of doing his job there, you know, bait the entry and play for a trade. It gives them, you know, the 4v1, the 4v2 onto the site. But I mean, if he goes unchecked on defense, we know what Artis is capable of playing mid as playing mid on split as Raze.
Okay, I think that's outlined what to expect, and I don't know. I'm as much as I know defense can build up a lot, I really don't want to remove how well I want to put credit towards NIP here. I think a lot of people expected this to be a bit of a blowout, almost. You know, this was an easier step for G2 than it should have been. I mean, the only real challenge I'd see would be Summon, if I'm honest, and maybe I'll be proven wrong. But this is a very good start for the Ninjas here. I mean, it's not been perfect by any means, but JD and Rhyme coming online here has been great for them. But new half, new start. Let's see if NIP can make it stick on the attacking side. G2, 3 rounds. This pistol could mean everything.
Very quick hit. Oh my god, Mixwell still blind. What felt like 10 seconds there. NIP will get 4 into heaven very quickly. Ardis going to get forced all the way back into spawn. He's got to find that kill. Thank you, Ryan. Will fall, but it's not it just yet. Patitech will swing, get to trade, but now NIP, the 3v2. Pit all the way back round towards A main. I think Chihuahua may have caught a sound cue there, but he will after the trapwire balls. Pit on the pistol round. Count on this man to land some pistol headshots.
You normally can. You can see already Existence wants space in the other direction. Try and make sure he's not pinned towards the side itself. Outdone by Zeke. This is a problem. JD called upon again now. A 1v2.
Double pick dia bang.
He's an HP. The timing's everything. Can he catch one for free? A clean kill is exactly what he needs and exactly what he gets. But the slow orb denies some of the accessibility towards the site. But Pit now, the time's dwindling. He's got to make his move. He's got to go now. JD's playing it well. He's trying to find the angles. But Pit plays it better. Timing will be a factor. But Pit has done well enough to get them to this scenario regardless.
Yeah, and that's a big win. That's a big win. Again, prevents NIP going to double digits and putting that immense amount of pressure in terms of the round score onto G2. And also just a confidence builder.
Okay.
I love the push from NIP though. Again, just forcing Ardis all the way back on there, and it's not as if it's like, yeah, we've got him back in spawn, leave him there, let's take site now. It's like, no, get that kill, get that kill.
Right, we go again. The window of opportunity has been cracked open. The fresh breeze of potential turnarounds for G2 now comes in. With this, Pit gonna know now there's something coming his way. Does he know how much? Yet to be seen. Now, keep in mind where the spike is. This is certainly not an all-in piece just yet. This shows a good amount of intention and does draw a rotation, and I'd say somewhat commitment from Mixwell and Pit towards B for now.
Yeah, shown a little presence, tried to get some chip damage, but they fought for the orb, and they're gonna put that in. I'm fine with that on the eco round. Make sure you get an extra orb out of it. Maybe actually going to come back over and try and do the same thing on A here, but you can see Patitech and Ardis holding close, but Ardis actually backing up now after the Molotov goes onto the smoke. I think, yeah, you can see Patitech pinging. He's got some sound cues somewhere. The smoke drops. Unfortunate time there for Chihuahua. There you go, Ardis will find the first with the Bulldog, Patitech with the second. And Mixwell's here to reinforce.
Something about Mixwell, once he gets on that op, you just notice how much time he is in different places on the map. I mean, in other games we credit kind of very mobile oppers and AWPers in Counter-Strike, for example. You know, the likes of Device and what have you, and I do think he's one of those very talented players, and you can see NIP are trying to find their best option, trying to draw out rotations, and it's not going to happen. Mixwell and Zeke going to shut that out. But it's something I really like about Mixwell is that he is so versatile and mobile on that op. He is everywhere at once. He is not just commanding one site, he is around. He is making sure there is no easy way forward.
But it's, and we talk about this term conditioning, you know, especially with a player like Mixwell on defense, it's like, yeah, do we want to peek B garage? Maybe this is the round Mixwell's posted there with an operator, you know? It's things like that. Again, you know, a good team, you can't let that be in, you've got to play your game plan, right? But the way Mixwell's able to command kind of 2 or 3 different positions without even being there, as you say, it's just a guessing game. Ardis nearly being caught out there. Again, Existence, we commended him for his flashes the other day, and it's the early round ones for me that just kind of get people away from those angles. It gives them a little bit of space to move up.
You see mid-control being fought a little bit harder for, I feel, from G2. We saw a couple of teams not necessarily completely give it up, but kind of sit back at the extremities, that we're now somewhat seeing Sage falling away towards that deeper split through. You've got, I think it's Artist there, kind of towards Heaven side, Mixwell towards Rope, so very, very, you know, not necessarily passive, but I mean, you can't plant the spike in middle. The sites are pretty far away from it, so you can give up some control, but you're banking on this to work out. Mixwell definitely noting presence. You can see Sage leaning that way, so they have caused the rotation they wanted, but it looks like they're going to start leaning back the other way. So an interesting piece of play coming through. I want to see that commitment now.
Artist actually walked into that fault line there, so going to get caught backside. Pit still finds that one, even though he's concussed. JD now, good for 2. It's so good. Do they clear Artist? They do indeed. Rhyme going to find that one as well. So G2 down to 2 players now. Mixwell on this late rotation through. Going to join Patitek up in Heaven. They both upgrade to Phantoms.
Mixwell now working forward, combat stim going down, trying to put himself absolutely on fire, and he finds 2. Now the final player left up against him is Mixwell misread the timing, and Chihuahua staying mobile in that clutch, just making sure that timing was not going to be used against him, and it doesn't. So well done in the end. 2 players stepped up for me. JD is 1, and then you had on the other side Mixwell making that even possible. 10-5 now.
It's little things like that, and I know people are going to lose their minds in chat about the fact he pulled his knife out there, but the timing is just heartbreaking for him. He waits for the peak on the right side for 2 or 3 seconds, opts to then push round to pillar. 2 hour just swings, and it's a walking swing. It's so unfortunate.
No. Let's see what NIP do with this round. They've had a touch of success in the previous. A mid-split worked for them.
Cage triggered.
Now it looks like going back towards an A execution. Now Mixwell is here. He is sitting towards CT. He's all the way back on defensive side spawn, however you like to refer to it. Rafters being pressured, but Rhyme straight in there, throws himself into the den, and he actually comes out the victor, already controlling the site. The spike trying to get towards it. It still needs to clear a little, secure some safety.
Yeah, wall goes down over the screen. Mixwell immediately breaks it, which gives JD the opportunity to swing on that reload. So again, NIP will pick up a freebie. And there's a second onto Artist as well. Chihuahua on the rope! Accuracy! A little bit of a penalty on the rope, but that wasn't pretty for sure. JD, again, just so consistent today. Look at that.
Why does this game look like that, huh? Like, how did...
24 and 10 on this man right now.
What's his monitor? What's his mouse? Tell me all of it. I want his setup. Like, I mean, it just makes it look so easy. It's incredible. And do you know what? One thing I'll say is we saw the power of existence on the first map. This map, quieter, but as an IGL, I don't really mind. If you're serving your purpose, it's fine to me. And when you have someone like JD absolutely running away with it, no problem. 11-5 now. G2 might start feeling the pressure. This could be opening up to a BO5, and Ryan is going to do the very best he can. Now, did he expect the second? No. Patitek can't do much to change this now. He's kind of trapped in there. This could be a problem.
Yeah, he's got to get away from that aftershock as well. We'll tag him up for about 30 or so HP, I think. Chihuahua again given all this freedom to lurk all the way into ropes. Now comes the rotation. Here's Zeke on the ropes there, trying to bait something out. He does actually clear it. So spots Chihuahua out, but Phantom versus Ghost, you got to expect Chihuahua wins that one. Patitek swings with a Vandal though. 2v3 definitely doable here for G2. Maybe not now. Nope.
Oh,
it just
trigger discipline. Yeah, but
the discipline.
Nice, Kriya.
The discipline to find both as well as a result of it. Fantastic stuff.
I'm smiling, man. Like, let's see G2 work for this. I think in the wider map pool, this will go G2's way. But you know what? I'm happy to see him pushed. I'm happy to see another good European team. This, to me, excellent indicators. And this map has not looked great for G2. This is their pick, keep in mind. They look better on Icebox. This just looks kind of hit and miss. I mean, they had a couple of nice moments towards the end of the first half, but beyond that, look at NIP. They've got ultimates for days. They are ready to go. They're locked and loaded, already one to be used. Why not? You've got potential to do it, and they're gonna pull players back. JD swings into action, finds Artist, and right now just powers forward, taking space everywhere. Kriya is just being the paranoia. His positioning is the biggest problem. They don't even know where he is. Mixwell dashes past, gonna take the fight, but all the information is noted. That spike is on existence, and he isn't at B.
Yeah, Kriya actually gets the info on two players there.
Enggak bang, kanan bang.
The way in the defensive spawn. Mixwell and Pat actually making their way back over, and Ryan finding that kill is actually going to bring both members of G2 back towards heaven here. Pat's tech through ropes, Mixwell on stairs. Existence creeping through garage here. Got to worry about this cross though. If Mixwell gets into a position to hold it, he's not watching. He's actually going to...
The timing. He got so paranoid about it. There was no spike plant while they had the opportune moment, so they started to consider the other options. And as you can see, it's opened up a chance, but now they have to position perfectly for this retake. Otherwise, we've got an upset. This is the start of a big upset, and this is where everyone on the desk is wrong. If this doesn't go 2-0, keep that in mind. This was how much we believe the G2 would be looking solid here. Now, Existence...
Oh my god.
Turned away for a second, but Rhymes got his back, and now Mixwell left in a 1v2. The last fight didn't go so good, but maybe this time it could go different. But Mixwell, he's sticking it. He wants to get it towards halfway. He's got it there, but he needs to get it all the way through. Rhymes doesn't allow it. It's 13-5. The Ninjas have beaten G2 on their home map. We are going to the best of 5 now. Stick around, guys. We've got more to come your way.
Clutch.
Apply now at redbullcampusclutch.com.
Danjiro-kun. Banjirakan. Itu masuk.
Watashi o nozomi?
Oh, paling mudah tuh. TS.
Matiro.
天王山に明智光秀はいない様子。今のうち山頂に陣を引きましょうぞ。
ようこそ。ここはあの世とこの世の境の地。我らを縛りつけて離さぬ者は誠の恐怖よ。拙者で光秀様にだけは切られたくない。
いただくわ。
ここ山崎は天王山が要になります。天王山山頂を先に取った軍が勝つ。お見事、門を抜きました。皆さん、そこに死神がおいでです。扉一枚、どうでもいいことではありますが。さあ、急がないと大変なことになりますよ。
はねていただくわ。
貴様はもう川を渡ったのだ。
明智軍め、予想以上に進行速度が速い。
いただくわ。
痛い。
私はマムシ。ただ飛び回るだけの長者だ。死はお前を死に追い詰めてやるわ。
安心してください。他でもないあなたです。丁寧に送ってあげましょう。
いただくわ。
血の池地獄でも見に行きましょうか。
これが見たいの？
客が来たぞ。寝床は仏間で十分じゃ。筋肉了解。進め、我ら筋肉隊。ここは本願寺総本山である。 ものか。よう鍛えておるわい。鍛えるであります。
ああ、サンダルの出番がなくなっちゃうよ。いただきます。
節操の筋肉もんが。あります。
二人ともその前を走らせぬ勢いですな。
いただくわ。邪魔よ。お前も死にたいの？
節操、金の力で何でも買うのじゃ。筋肉を買うのじゃ。
やりすぎたかしら。本人はいないんじゃ。それがオーバーなの？
誰にも渡せねえ。いくらでもあるぞ。ほれヘロ
やりすぎたかしら。
あれはこれで田舎の母ちゃんに薬が買える。シャヨヒューリヒス金の使いところ見余ったか。
Udah kali bang, mainnya bang. Ini nge-save. S2 right.
あんたにゃとびきりの祭りを見せてやるよ。
久しぶりに心が躍るわね。ごめん。いただき
祭りや祭りやでー。てっしゃー。
ごめん。
え、祭り？
ごめん。
ケイさん、ケイ側は明かしまへんね。
Influential last time we saw an IP on Ascent. Whether or not he's going to have the same kind of efficiency, the same effectiveness here, we'll have to wait and see. Because obviously the thing to note for an IP, there's no duelist. Now, the way JD's playing, yes, we can chalk the Battle Sage off as, as a duelist, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Artist coming back onto the Sova here, Zeke back on Reyna, Pit toying with our emotions once again. Oof. But fully expecting
breathing heavier than Mitch on an analysis desk. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm getting flack in chat for the breathing. I'm like, I stay muted for 20 minutes.
Choose your agent.
Even the game's telling Pit to hurry up, stop toying with our emotions. There we go. We are locked in. We are ready to go. Zeke back on the Reyna. Everything locking in, and yeah, that unique ability to kind of avoid duelists as such for NIP that hasn't necessarily seemed to be a huge problem, but it's definitely been something that's caught our attention. I mean, I'm liking seeing NIP being willing to change a little bit of the composition meta as such. I mean, I look at North America and they are taking it even further. We've had some crazy lineups out there that are looking actually pretty viable as well. Definitely caught my attention. Just, I think, well, I guess it would count as today, technically. It was late enough. But into this we go. NIP going to be starting on the attack. I really don't know what to make of this now. I think, as I said, once we break into this best of 5, as it is, it's going to be a little bit different. I think this is where you should see G2 come online, because they are probably pretty annoyed at this. I would be. You shouldn't be in this scenario. This was meant to be a best of, well, I guess a best of 2 as such, initially.
Yeah, I mean, coming back to Nib's previous Ascent showing, the real test now comes towards G2's structure and that default setup, because NIP were not afraid to go aggressive on their defensive rounds. I'm talking about that B main control, you know, the flash out, the wall down, give up that side of the map for a full 30 seconds, wait for that wall to expire, find that map control elsewhere. So this one's going to be a bigger test for G2 than arguably the previous map in my eyes. Just around though, Patek, no idea what's the other side of that wall, but throws the paranoia down, takes a little bit of damage. He's got to tuck behind the switch there. Zeke swing out, the reinforcements come through good. 2 kills for him, Kriya and JD fall.
Huge bailout there by Zeke. The timing could have been awful and Zeke's just popped the hell off. That's all thanks to Zeke that round. I honestly thought they were kind of screwed. That timing on the split coming up short there, those 3 players, as soon as the Omen turned, popping down, trying to help out the rest of the side, feeling the pressure through A main. There could have been that crunch time, but no, Zeke on the bailout perfectly, gonna get himself straight on that Bulldog, well prepared for the next one as well. But if this is a good time to highlight how good individually Zeke is as well, I'm super happy about that too. Reyna,
what did that tweet say?
Yeah, I mean, look. Look. We like this. We like to see this. I want to see G2 kind of back being the bad boys here. You know what I mean? You've got artists. You've got some of these players that are super powerful, super good. And you can see the facilitating to get artists to these positions, to try and get him more proactive, even against pistols, which is kind of scary. Mixed while showing, do not fear, guys. I have the frenzy. I'm fine.
We're going to talk a little on the previous map about that conditioning. This is G2 doing what I say they love to do, which is set the pace, set the aggression, make them scared. Artist, what? The double tap onto some Rosa there, find both kills. And I mean, this is it. This is when the G2 confidence comes out, right? This is going to keep NIP on the back foot. Nobody picking up a kill in the first 2 rounds here. This is that G2 dominance we've talked about.
Look at this. Daddy's home, boys. Look at it. Boom. Oh. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Where was this last map? You made me work longer. I mean, I guess I get to see more games, which makes me happy, but you know, I don't get paid by the hour, boys. We've got things to do. We've got other games to watch, but it looks like G2 have woken up, at least initially. Now, ninjas, you know, they're slow builders. They'll grind it out. They'll build back in. They'll change the narrative, but it has been a nice start and certainly one to get the boys pumped up from G2.
That's it. Well, the quick presence showing through B main there. G2 just holding steady though, not giving too much away. Now we see the rotation come out from NIP. Spike's still down outside B lobby. Korea and JD looking for something back towards mid. Again, just a 2-1-2 here from G2. This is it now. They've shown their aggression. Now they're going to wait to see if NIP can respond. SMGs scattered across the board for both teams as well, so expect them to try and convert some of these bad weapons. Existence all the way over towards A, actually, and like I said, he's the most influential member of NIP previously. Hopefully he can get back over there and rejoin his teammates. But look at Pitt and Ardis.
Don't forget his lurk that he pulled off on Icebox as well. If he gets that timing just right, has to see how the hit goes. He's got to draw the two players who are kind of holding that split, the mid-B split. And as you see, the wall goes up. That kind of cuts it off. Now, yes, instantly Patstek checks for it. You're not going to get away with those sort of surprises when there isn't enough of a threat to garner the attention. 10 seconds on the board, a very late in the day hit coming through. Rhyme has to hold the line, and he does get one, but two not going to come through. Ardis straight away on the trade. Quick little push in now. JD trying to do some work. Spike is down. Not going to happen. The bigger guns have come out to play. Chihuahua with that Phantom sitting in his cage. And even with all the rage in the world, he can't make much happen for it. Nice retake from G2 there.
I mean, already, right now, the coordination just night and day from what we saw on Split. Again, double peeking angles, crossfire set up there. Always somebody in position to trade. This is G2 kind of setting the standard now, going forward for themselves on Ascent. It already looks better, if I may speak freely in the first 3 rounds.
You may.
Thank you.
Look at these fly-throughs. I love the fact that, I don't know, like, as a little dweeby nerd, I kind of find it kind of cool that you can look into these places. Look at the little bear chilling in the window. Look at that creepy little bear. Hello.
That is actually... Yeah.
How's the post-plant going? Look at this dude. Oh, he's having a great day. He's having a great day. NIP fans waiting for the first round be like. 3-0 though, G2 so far looking pretty comfy. Ardis, Zeke, both looking real good. That's going to be a big indicator, a big win condition. I feel for G2 is to have those two online. Nice to have Mixwell in there, Pit, Patatech, whatever you like. But I think those two, as we know how good they are individually, I want a bit of that.
Back in now, and again, this is G2 again exploring short. Patstek finding something after exploring. And that's spiked down. Again, they won't get the notification because the smoke's down, but Patatech finds another? Is that another one through the smoke?
If
Unfortunately,
most of the smoke was fading. I mean, I don't blame the observer to be like, there's smoke. He can't see him. No, no, no. JD, though, trying to trade out, spots a bit of a pixel out of place towards short. You're brave. You are brave, Patatech, but it baits in Mixwell. But actually, JD very well and truly aware of the possibility. Nicely done. Good check of that. But it is still going to be an uphill struggle to make this one land. Ardis, again, good awareness on what map control they've actually got and what they don't. Korea doesn't get the opportunity to make much out of it now.
I have the spike.
And Ultimate's just coming online now for G2 again. Ooh, yeah, JD actually getting all the way behind Patatech there. We'll get that kill and the wall down blocking tree off, but bites off a bit more than he can chew. Ryan will trade that one out. Ardis trying to hop up onto the wall, but Zeke definitely not noted here. Ryan expecting main, but okay, baits out the plant there, taps the spike. Zeke tried to swing on him, but Ryan swung on him first.
He knows this now. Rhyme has to take the fight. This is just pure muscle, aim, and it's going to be Pit to come out on top. A hard position to play from for Rhyme, especially after that camera goes in. He had to clear it, but Pit very well played on the way back through. That got a little close there, I've got to say, but it is a round win nonetheless for G2. Considering how this started and then how close it got, not bad from the Ninjas, but it does go G2's way.
Pit's looked really good today.
Yeah,
really good today. Just consistent as well. Again, not just with a pistol.
Do you know another player I like, by the way, Hypoc? Sabrosa.
Do you? Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah, man, I just think he's really good at the game, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know, first off, it was a slip of the tongue, and then chat would roast me, and then I realized nobody in chat actually knew that spot's called Sabrosa.
Yeah. It's alright. It's fine. Let me just
call
have a little
everything
fun.
Cubby. Just call everything Cubby.
I mean, everything's link, connector,
yeah.
You know, halls, main. Mid. mid. Top mid. Love a bit of it. Good start, though, this round, at least for the Ninjas, making a fair bit of impact happen. Chihuahua being kind of baited in by the Omen, trying to make some progress while the spam comes in. It does do quite well at that. You can see the flashes coming into place, clearing as they go, and mid has been at least garnered.
Yeah, Pat and Zeke again on this A-site patrol now. I'm going to get a little bit of information, actually, from Nobody B in main, and you can see Zeke trying to creep a little bit further. This drone, though, going to give away his ideas. Pat's still posted up, though. He's watching the short push, and there you go. The paranoia comes through, going to buy them a little bit more time. If Zeke can find that kill, actually, Ryan backs away. But look at this. Chihuahua's lurk once again, giving up enough information for NIP to sweep back through market. Artist now got to be careful. Try and stay alive in this scenario.
Oh, that has a lot of utility to deny you doing exactly what you're trying to do. Spike should be planted soon because the ultimate is popped up. Oh, this is a problem. Spike is not going down. 10 seconds on the board. Pit's just found one. Rhyme does at least equate the damage, but now position given away. He can't leave this. There's no way out unless someone has some utility to put into play. Artist is waiting. You can see all that information now revealed. Ryan wants to swing. He's trying to bait it out. But where's that next level of attack coming from? Yes, the pressure from the Reyna will come through, but it will be late. This is going to be a late in the day retake. 3 players to pull it off. Zeke being one. Ryan's still in a spot of bother, but he's making so much problem, so much trouble for G2. Nicely handled by the Ninjas in the end. And great work coming out. Just, I love the time being bought from just that one position.
And again, Rhyme just staying tucked in means that Zeke, I mean, Zeke can't just charge at him. It buys so much time for the rest of NIP to get those kills when necessary, and G2 have to pinch at the same time. So really good stuff from him. And I mean, initially the site hit comes through, like you said, all that utility invested. The last thing there was the trap wire. Pit converts that trap wire to a kill, ultimately then loses his life. And I mean, the Hunter's Fury did get a tag, but other than denying the plant, not an awful lot garnered from that.
A little bit of early damage. Don't know if anyone actually took any from it. NIP looking for opportunities, but I like the cautious pace. We know that G2 can be aggressive on the defensive side, so probably a good idea. Pit this time trying to keep full information flow towards that B site. Nothing seen just yet, but soon he'll get a fair crack of info.
Camera taken out. Cage 3.
This is looking a little more spread. NIP's approach here this time around, and again, I know footballists were maybe a little bit of an unknown quantity. NIP definitely more cautious. Whether or not that is the first couple of rounds and the aggression that G2 did show, I'll take it a much slower, methodical approach than what I was expecting.
30 seconds.
See, Rolling Thunder going to get sent through tree. Yeah, look at this. This is a fast hit coming through A now.
Zeke's still in a good enough spot for one. Gets to readjust position. Caught in the back though. Good trade from Existence. He needs more. And he gets more. But there's Pit again. The value of his kills coming in. They may not be top fragging on occasion, but when he does get these kills, they are important to the way the round goes down. And that's what we talk about with impact fragging. It's so pivotal. But still, I like the idea from the ninjas, but well controlled. Zeke's early information, his good little off angle, tucked in the corner, repositioned didn't go well, but instantly the shutdown was there. G2 ready to deny any more progress. Oh, we found another bet. I didn't know it was smoking. Look at that. Damn. Damn, right? Putting in that work.
That's attention to detail.
Yeah. Those 3 pixels out there looking real deady. 5-1. G2 very much in command so far. I don't feel like the ninjas can do much this round. Keep in mind, I think it's just frenzies, maybe Sheriff or 2. It shouldn't be much, if anything. So have to see what they can achieve with it. G2 should be well and truly aware of the economy.
Well, all this kind of slow exploration play, I want to see NIP kind of put it to good use and find an opportunity they think they can exploit. Because G2 right now, again, talk about the criticisms, it's discipline and structure. Zeke's got a cheeky little jump spot there.
I love that. It's something that...
And I think he's seen 3 or 4 there. Finds the first rhyme, good for the trade though. So NIP will get site control. And the weapon upgrade. Existence actually having the spike there. Artist will swing before the fault line and JD will fall. So more damage going on. Oh my god. What?
It's all great.
Yeah. Take a step back and I guess farm from heaven is
free farm.
The strat there.
It's all good. It's all good. We're chilling. I like so that little jump thing is something we saw in Counter-Strike towards, I guess, somewhat semi-recently. It's not been something that was seen 5 years ago. It's tactical pause coming in for G2 this time, it looks like. But just to say that it's kind of when you hit the top of the surface almost, when you the head goes bonk. It kind of resets the move enough to kind of put you back down quicker, so you get that nice quick peak. Very hard to do anything with, so I like that. I like to see that being utilized here. Tactical timeout for G2, I don't think they really need it, but maybe just let them swell a little. Want to go for this was a bit messy, but we take it. Got a little sketchy. It's a cute face. I like the one at the bottom.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a weird
melting
little mouth.
one.
When it should have been over in 2, but it's now going all the way.
Okay, dude. Okay.
Look, it's one of those
but
days.
someone's actually kind of like an OO face, actually. If we can go back to that at some point. Nothing. So, 6-1 the score line.
Did you just hit a casual uwu?
No, there's absolutely no proof to back that up.
Shadows traveling.
Oh, are we seeing a fast one? This is nice. Okay, we saw something similar from Scream when he was playing Jet, right? That kind of self-sufficient approach to the side itself. Good little take from the ninjas. Now, it will instantly force a retake. G2 can't really fight. This one, they're too deep on the site. They weren't playing proactively to take initial fights. They're already kind of postured towards this. But a 5v5 retake isn't easy. We do have the off angle being garnered over there by the Cypher. We've got decent enough positions. I don't mind this. Chihuahua has to win this fight, though, otherwise there could have been problems. And he does.
I like
Big
that.
win there. The late lurk from Patsteg, or flank rather. JD now going to post up on top. G2 actually manages to get down on the site. Pit and Zeke will find kills. Existence responds with 1, but Ardis will send it home now. Existence, the last man standing. No flashes left. Ardis will hard clear him in hell.
Retake.
Really, really clean. Again, and that was just brute force. Brute force. They all swing at the same time. Mixwell throwing up the distraction there. The cloud burst down behind Dice. Dashes in. I think at least 3 members of NIP were staring into the smoke there, waiting for Mixwell to swing. But again, just the counter peak so good. Zeke, Pit, and Ardis all finding kills.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with these retakes. Good coordination between G2 to be able to make this work. Great synergy with the teammates, knowing where they can clear, where they can't. There was a little bit of danger from a couple of the players in decent enough spots. JD's position, I thought it could have done something on top of the ice wall, keeping himself safe from almost the one way of the cage back there. But then again, Pit instantly checks on it, no problem. Pattek last time did garner a couple of kills from this early peek through middle over towards the B side. And he's getting aggressive on the season, enough, but just about gets away with his life.
Yeah, lots of damage done though. G2 4 ultimates online, NIP 3. Rolling Thunder last time around, they didn't get an awful lot of value for it. But this potentially here, with no duelist and Existence using his flashes that early on. Oh. look at Korea's HP. He has to get the heal there. Mixwell, a lot of damage coming through the wall, but yeah, Existence's flashes being used that early on. Without the duelist, it's like this is the reliance on the entry, right?
Enemy tag.
The thing is, as well, look at Zeke's positioning. He's managed to push out. He's got so much information. He knows they're just locked up in middle. None of the traps have been set off towards B, so they know exactly where they are. Zeke could be the absolute execution here. Spots one, sees two. Oh, that's big work from Zeke. He can just fade away now. He is the biggest nuisance in the world. A's vulnerable from short, but you still have the Omen at the back patrolling around. I've got to say, G2 are in so much control here.
They are, and it's the contingency plan behind it. Again, reading where NIP are playing. Zeke, again, with freebie onto Ardis. And actually, the second player there, actually low HP. Did he just cancel the TP? He did just cancel the TP. The spike can't go down now. That's a huge tag there onto Korea's ultimate. He tried to TP into center site, and he gets tagged and it cancelled. Wow.
Mana bomnya?
It's the little things. It's the little things that count.
8-1 now. Scoreline. I mean, I've got to say it. You look at the other maps where the ninjas looked pretty competent. We just got called degenerates, and I'm kind of happy with it. Thank you very much. Woo boy. Wee boy. I don't know how to do it. Woo boy. We'll call your name like that. I like it. Look, one day I'll get you on to our hours, and you'll truly join me in degenerate hell. But the problem is an 8-1 scoreline is kind of overshadowing the previous maps, and this is what I meant by the depth that's probably going to be lacking with the ninjas. When you've got a new kind of IG on, nice little work there from one, good trade out there from Chihuahua to continue going forward. But again, it's one of those things that they will lack a bit of depth. They may be able to convert this round just to make it seem like, you know, that it's going to be competitive. But in those buy rounds, it's been very decisively one-sided. The little creep out from Patek doesn't go so well. And now Mixwell left in a 1v4. Does have his ult if he wants to get a little fruity with it. Doesn't fancy the odds. Great round from NIP. You can see the foundations and the structure can be there. It's just they can't replicate it as well. The previous maps have looked substantially better. I don't think they're ready yet for the answers on this map. We don't know how much time they've had to truly implement this sort of, you know, the sort of, I guess, regiment that they have in the previous maps that we saw when we go on to something like this. This just may not be within their wheelhouse yet.
No, it's crazy to actually see the amount of impact Existence had and just finding no value off of doing essentially the same thing here, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to find that space with the flashing people off certain angles, but they can't capitalize on it quickly enough. And then lacking somebody with, you know, real mobility or that ability to kind of play entry is kind of dragging them down here, I'll be honest. It's because it looks kind of simple for G2, dare I say that? It's very much just playing fundamentals here. There's nothing special coming out of G2 other than map control here.
Yeah, and I think that's completely understandable. Do we get to see a Sinatra around? I see Ardis. I see the gun. I think Sinatra. If they go that way, Observer, you give me that POV.
You're not allowed to mention any NA names, by the way, in this broadcast. Nobody's going to have any idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you're right. You're right. My bad. I'm so sorry.
Shame on
sorry.
you. NA fangirl.
I just watch a lot of NA, man. They're creative out there. They've picked up some like Overwatch players, and it's actually worked out pretty well, man. It's weird. Like we've got like the Fortnite group. Wait till you see the Overwatch lot. They're all a bit mental. It's mad. But here we go. The Sinatra specialty gonna probably come through on this one, considering you can see what Ardis is up to. If he fancies it, one goes over. Don't see anything for now. But if anyone was there, you have that nice warbang pen and so many bullets to just spray away. They go for this mid-split. Still could have some decent impact. We'll see what the ninjas do. They did just have a little timeout, so maybe it'll work out.
And the preemptive Empress here. Pop Zeke expecting them to swing out on this market angle. Let's see. Hunter's Fury and Rolling Thunder sent over on the other side of the map. Hit. Got to be careful here. He's tucked in next to Switch. The K's gonna go up, buying some time, but Existence just snaps on him as soon as it drops Patatech there to back him up. But back and forth trades here, 2 for 2. Brings it down to a 3v3 now. And again, just not an awful lot. What? Artist just killed JD with a... Okay.
The Sinatra.
The weird thing was I glanced up to the top of the screen and I didn't see JD low HP.
So I don't know where
was that a
or
double?
how. I don't know.
30 seconds
I
left.
really don't know.
Last player standing.
There we go. This round's getting horrific to handle. Welcome to the pain train. And it may not be stopping. Yeah, uh-oh. Side of the head? No. Yes. Artist. Not going to get through, are you? Comfy work from G2 again. Just kind of keeping control now. Just
Last
making
round
this
in
look
the half.
way too simple for them. And, you know, we said in the previous, I want to see the likes of Zeke and Artist doing well, and they are here. This is a good example of it.
Yeah, I hate talking about round scores when it's 9-2 and it's the last round and a half because it's like, yeah, NIP they have to get this. Double digits is almost. I mean, we see comebacks, yes, but more often than not, it doesn't happen when somebody gets 10 rounds in the first. Quick hit actually over towards A here. And back all the way up. Korea gonna make it across to Jen, but Patstech still swings out, finds Rhyme. Korea gonna make use of the smoke up on Heaven here. Jada will get Ryan back on his feet, so brings it back to a 5v5, but Korea still hunting.
Nah. Not gonna get away with that sort of play against G2 right now. They're 2 on the ball. You see Reyna starting to build that viability into these rounds. Quick bit of information going to be poured through towards the Ninja's side, but by this point, Deke's already there. Here comes Mixwell saying goodnight. Doesn't actually land too much. It's JD doing well. And now the 1v2 begins. Tucked in the corner, looking dangerous, but not dangerous enough. Patatech, right there.
It's the chaos factor for G2. Like, that was literally chaos. It was like, Zeke gets a kill, he dismisses. He's basically stood in the open on Heaven like, yeah, shoot at me, it's fine. And then Mixwell comes flying out with the Blade Storm. But it's how synergized that chaos is for G2. Just another fantastic retake from them.
Okay, Tech Paw is going to be coming out. So we get to have a little watch back at this. Oh, this is so good, man. It's actually filthy. And sure, the fact is, the one thing I do love about Valorant is the fact that we got some personalities. You know what I mean? Like, it took so long for some of the players in other games to be able to be willing to actually be, you know, not necessarily a bad guy, but to have a bit of, you know, bit of spice to it. I love the fact we already have that in Valorant. It's so good. So damn good. 10-2 is a damn good scoreline for G2. This is a way to kind of instantaneously answer back. So, yeah, boy. This is going to be a brutal one. What's after this? Bind? Question mark?
Yeah, Bind and then Haven for the finale. If we go there.
If, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Again, it's
just
like...
wanted to stretch their legs a little bit today.
I think the thing is, like, we're learning NIP's map pool as to what they've been able to work on so far, and that's completely fine. I'd really love to see if maybe Bind's another one they've been able to kind of work out. Don't know how far in they've got towards it. Like, this is the thing, like, we're still kind of learning the process of how far they've worked through the regiment, because considering how constructed Icebox looked, how well handled Split was, you know, even in the loss that they had, it doesn't really matter. I really enjoyed that, so I'd like to see that applied to more maps, but I think that's kind of hopeful wishing at this point, so yeah. But still, I'm happy to see G2 stabilizing, because it'd be kind of worrying for the EU scene if they just suddenly slipped up at this point. And it's good to see that's not the case. They've been able to stabilize well enough here, and we can just have a little look around the game. As I said, just a little tech pause, so we can just have a little chat. How's your day going, mate?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm glad actually we didn't get like a 2-map and done. Yesterday seemed too short.
It said no caster ever.
I mean,
we can't break the
they're
illusion.
opposite ends of the extreme.
You're right. I mean,
Mitch and Banks are gonna hate me for that. If we go the distance now, they will hate me.
They'll be fine. They love a grind. Those two, they're living the dream. You know, I might have to just make my dinner at some point God
You
damn.
get an extra hour in the day, though. I don't know
Oh,
why you're...
please don't bring up that Frankie doesn't understand time again, because my brain still hurts from it.
You get to get up a whole hour later than everyone else.
So what are your thoughts going in towards that next map, though? Because, well, not next map. Let's talk next match just briefly while this tech pause gets worked out. I don't know how long we've got. I just want to talk nonsense with you because it's kind of fun. Like, I'm looking at Liquid, right? And I really like the Liquid guys. I honestly want them to do well, and I think they're a long-term investment that will eventually pay off, right? How do you think they're going to fare against Summon here? Just briefly.
Briefly, I'm worried for Liquid because of how good Summon looked yesterday.
True, yeah.
On a fundamental level, Summon were terrifying, and yes, you could argue opponent diff, but I'm worried for Liquid.
Pitt just said to pee in a bottle. He's going full Mitch Jones here. Damn, boy. Like, all right, look, we can take bathroom breaks, maybe, but we are going to on the switch. But yeah, I think you're right. I think with Summon's look, that's pretty wild. Anyway, we are into the second half, 10-2. Ninjas would have to get this pistol. I don't.
Yeah, that's not how you want to see it after. Yes, they need to get this pistol. Mixwell just out on an island with a frenzy and finds 2 there. NRP down to 2 remaining remainers. Right, I'm actually going to bring 1 back, but Mixwell now puts it into a 2v1. Existence going to give his position away by destroying this wall in B main, but you see already Pathtech positioning and market. Mixwell all the way back in a defensive spawn. It's just the perfect setup here. He's got to come through, he's got to clear all these close angles, and then actually they're just going to swing once he gets close to the spike. So making it as difficult as possible for Existence.
Yeah, look at that plant. This would take a monumental failure from the G2 side. That's just not going to happen.
I'm just going to throw 400 credits at your face as well. The paranoia for good measure.
Why not? 11-2 now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Yeah, they're going to come back. I'm hoping they're going to come back in this unless they want to. I don't want to say allow G2 the 12th, but it just makes it so difficult. And then with G2 forcing up 3 Bulldogs, again, they can play this a little differently than they would do with SMGs. Maybe just 1 coming on the side.
Yeah, that's not a bad start. I mean, try and make something happen. If you're the Ninjas in this position, you have the freedom of the fact that as much as, yes, you're probably about to lose this game, you don't have that much pressure in a weird way. I don't know how to put it. It's just, you got to just kind of try weird stuff because default and standardized play isn't going to work, especially on like a round like this. And they've got to set it up to be this, like a B stack and then bait them in towards A, which is a really nice concept. It doesn't go so well because G2 is still very well prepared and well considered, but I like the intention. That's, again, I don't care that it doesn't go perfectly to plan. JD did well to find 2, but as I said, you're not going to win that in a standardized way. You might as well try something a little bit weird and wacky. And that was a nice idea. 12-2 though, Hypoc. This one is looking all wrapped up, and none of the Ninjas breaking double digits in kills here.
Yeah, and the important thing to note there is they did just dry run that previous round. Coming back in now, they're going to attempt to go 10 rounds on the bounce versus G2 here on Ascent. A tall order at the best of times.
I feel like you don't believe in the comeback. Have I told you the time where the Ninjas were down 12-2 and they pulled it together, took it up? No. I haven't told you that story. 'Cause it didn't
haven't.
happen.
Not yet?
Question mark?
Get out of my way.
Let's see how much you got, Ninjas. Let's make it fun, alright? Mixwell are going to dive right in, show you how it's done. We saw Scream doing something very similar sort of approach, a very common one, but NIP seems very well prepared. Good control so far. Mixwell is still let loose. He is still standing. The only one still standing is the Ninjas lock it down. Clean, but it has to be clean the whole way through.
Yeah. Accosted no mistakes whatsoever in this half, and it's clean, convincing. 4 people stay alive. You got to have that pretty much every single round, Lauren, to be honest with you. Again, they get themselves to the position where they're buying out every single round. It makes it more and more difficult once that catches up with them and they're forced onto a full buy G2 round. An SMG for them. G2, a Stinger, a Ghost, a couple of Sheriffs. Throwaway round
Yeah.
for them.
I mean,
See if
to
they
be
can
fair
find
though,
anything.
if they get damage done here, the problem is that G2 don't... Well, the ninjas will never have the chance to build up an economy, so any damage could be deadly because it'll be a loss, essentially. That next buy back in, they're going to be without yet, right? So it's like, any damage they actually achieve is pretty big here. So, could be, could be interesting.
A little bit more chip damage coming through there. Again, I think they're just going to wait this one out. As soon as this wall drops, expect to see the explosion. Actually, no, they're going to send the drone up early. Didn't actually get the tag onto Ryan, but the position is noted. And look at how many tags the Recon is getting. The fault line perfect as well. Ryan will pick up one, JD the other. Now he's actually getting forced on by these pistols. Stays alive a lot longer than I thought he would have, but here comes JD now for the cleanup. But Zeke actually going to land that one. He's been so good today as well. Now finds himself at a 1v2. Spike in his possession.
This is doable.
It is. It absolutely is.
I just don't think Existence makes mistakes like this. He's going to play this so well. He'll keep his cool. But Zeke is so dangerous. This guy's aim, monstrous. Spike now planted. Retake time. Zeke. Oh, he did isolate one fight. Yeah. He was able to get that 1v1, but it will be the ninjas to control, maintain, and get a defuse. 4 rounds on the board.
Three deaths on the side of NIP, and take a look, see how that leaves them. Yeah, they're going to be fairly healthy. It's only really JD that's down to sub 500 credits, so not a massive issue for them, but G2 back on with a full buy now. Zeke's Ultimate Online, Patatek's Ultimate Online, Ardis one away from the Hunter's Fury on the side of NIP. JD has the Resurrection, Kriya one away from his Ultimate Rhyme, one away from the Hunter's Fury there, so they could pick up a kill or so across the board. Expect those ults to get invested.
I have the spike.
Wait and see moments here. G2 going through the, I guess, process at the moment, just kind of clearing as they go, trying to draw utility out. Mixwell making headway towards middle. Good timing on the flash. No play off the back of it though, but keeping note of these players.
Mixwell again looking for that. Actually going to walk straight into the trap wire. Existence gets the easiest wall bang. The one thing about Ascent, all these walls are paper thin.
True.
Shout out paper thin.
Patatek with one. Kriya with the trade. Kriya's in a really good position here. No one's on the flank, so he can be a real problem for these post plants. All they have available is the site and kind of the connector from short. Line comes out, Zeke with the plant. Spike is now down. It's retake time, and G2 are digging their heels in. Pit's found Rhyme. That's a problem. This is now a 3v3. Pit's gone down. JD's refusing to die. There is still life in them yet. Revive comes out. 4 players now stand, but they've got to get moving. They have to find these remaining players. Zeke is one of them. Artist, I believe the other, and Zeke's made this look so sharp, so clean. Full HP, overhealed, ready to go. JD said, this is not looking so good. Existence with the trade, and now the 1v1. Rhyme has to find him. He doesn't, and time is dwindling. Rhyme on the push. He gets Artist. But the time is everything here, Hypoc. This is going to be close again.
I think he's got it. Yeah, he's definitely got it. What a retake there again. Just no hesitation. As soon as that trade comes through onto Pit, Revive invested. Gets the man advantage back in their favor. I thought, you know, when Zeke finds that first kill on main and then the second towards door, I thought there was a chance. But Ardis getting tagged by that Hunter's Fury again, it just gives away his position. And Ryan knows where is best for Ardis to relocate to take that 1v1, and lands the headshot. Really, really good stuff actually from NIP.
Yeah, it is. They're not going down without a fight, and I will absolutely give them that. They get all the credit in the world. Now, in CS, we normally don't call it a comeback until they make it to double digits, right? But the problem is MR12 doesn't allow us that much. So maybe let's get excited for the comeback at, let's say, 8 rounds. Pitt's already fancying the next map, so he's got that sheriff working. Chihuahua, very, very sharp today, though. Going to continue to push in towards this. Nice work towards Mixwell, but Zeke on the trade. There is still potential here, a 3v3. Wait, this flank could be huge. Patitek's been unchecked. He's got 2 players on the other side of this. Once he crests this corner, he is going to have them lined up. This could be the death of them. Zeke's already found one. There goes the second. This could be where it all falls apart as Rhyme, the only man alive to save the ninjas in a 1v3. You've got the heavy hitter still alive, and as the curtains close, it's not looking so good. Rhyme has to make his move, and you can see them considering everything so well. Vision taken away, and as is the round, as is the map. It's G2 to close this one down, but it's not over yet. And before we get to those next maps, let's head back to the desk to talk us through everything we just saw.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypok. What a performance from G2. The comeback is on, Banks.
Oh yeah, that was a slapback. That was a statement game by all means. That was G2 saying it. But I'm still muted. There we go. B-Mix got it, Frankie.
Aku mengasihi Engkau, Yesus, dengan segenap hatiku. Engkau Bapa.
命をかけて。
あんたにゃとびきりの祭りを見せてやるよ。兵士たちに羽目を外さぬよう言い聞かせておこう。
そうではないか、半兵衛。
祭りや祭りやで
負けだ。負けだ。
飲みながら思うやないな。
負けだ。
腕の展開とかなってんのに。ギハットで
負けだ。
腰入れて戦え。腰入れてあいよ。
いただこう。負けだ。この先には僕の夢がある。いた
ぶっちゃけすごないかい？
いただこう。そろそろ豊臣に下る気になったかい？
こんなものが見れるなんて長生きはするもんだね。
ちょうど暇してたところや。さあさ
あお年玉やろうかな。
頑張れよ。あの子が見てるからな。
まだ先は長い。
負けだ。
進み続けようぞ。
君の負けだ。もちろんだ。秀吉。
わっしゃいわっしゃい。酒や酒持ってこい。祭りは今日の風物よ。楽しまなきゃ損損。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
敵や。いつの間に。
いいねいいね。祭りに行くんだ。踊るアホに見るアホ。ほらほらあんたも踊って踊って。飲め歌え踊れ。みんなのみんなしんどいじゃない。
お前は秀吉の友達なんかじゃねえ。
次に死にたいやつ前に出てこい。
秀吉の心を波立てる少年。僕が排除する。
祭りの邪魔者つまみ出せ。その喧嘩俺も混ぜろよ。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
恋も喧嘩もおしろいってよ。
一刻も早くここから立ち去ることをお勧めする。
あんたはお地蔵さんの隣に並べてやるよ。意外と意地っ張り。
夢はまだ続いている。
待つな。あんたに惚れちゃったよ。
へいや頑張れ。
じいちゃん入れ歯はタンスの上だぞ。
あっきょーい。
この先には僕の夢が。いい面構えしてるね。
いただこう。負けだ。君の負けだ。僕を駆り立てるの負けだ。なんだ
こんなもんか。眠くなっちまうよ。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
祭り愛も嫌よも好きのうちって言うだろ。
いただこう。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の時間だけに過ぎていく。君の負けだ。
今日は前やん。俺たちがいいね。
君の負けだ。終わりだ。君 君の負けだ。
命知らずはカボチャと一緒に煮込んでやるよ。
夢はまだ。
進んじゃバカン、前に出てくんな。大胆に、繊細に。これって女と似てるだろ。
少年。
あんたにゃとびっきりの祭りを見せてやるよ。
兵士たちに羽目を外さぬよう言い聞かせておこう。
楽しそうではないか半兵衛。
いただこ
う。祭りやでー。てきしゃー。え、祭り？
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
みんな、最高な青抜きが見てるぞ。
君の負けだ。さよなら。君の負けだ。哀れみを持って君の負けだ。終わりだ。君の負けだ。終わりだ。君の負けだ。いただこう。
最近の若者はかっこいいの。
やられた。年かな。みんな気合入っちゃってどうしたよ。わっしゃいわっしゃい。酒持ってこい。祭りは今日の風物よ。楽しまなきゃ損損。
夢はまだ続いている。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。終わりだ。
いいねいいね。祭りに行けんか。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
この先には僕の夢が。
もう頑張った春は。
いただこう。夢はまだ。
雲行き怪しくなってきたかも。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。終わりだ。君の負けだ。
踊るアホに見るアホ。ほらほら、あんたも踊って踊って。
君の負けだ。
飲め、
君の負けだ。
踊れ。みんなのふんどし脱いでない。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
おいおいおい、持病の様子大丈夫か。お前は秀吉の友達なんだからね。秀吉は止めたはずだ。この先には僕の夢が。祭りの邪魔者つまみだぜ。その喧嘩俺も待つよ。次に死にたいやつ前に出てこい。おやそれ。
君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
It's cute. Anyway, we are into this one. We can stop talking nonsense. NIP on the defensive side, G2 on the offense. And as said, a classic map between most of these players. They know how this works. They know all the lineups. This one has been geeked out.
Actually, a lot of damage gone over. Actually, you already Chihuahua tucked into the TP with the camera outside. So, liking this setup here to try and capitalize on the hooker push. But he's kind of stuck now. And G2 are pressuring towards site. JD all the way back towards defensive spawn on. Actually, Chihuahua going to find a kill here. That's a big kill onto Zeke. That's some of the hooker control relinquished, and all 4 members now of NIP going to swing through the TP and find Patatek.
Yeah, I guess he's got the information, but they still need to do something with this. Spike's still ticking G2 down to 3, and the impact somewhat lacking at this point. NIP looking quite clean, but they've got to keep the speed up on this one. JD's gone down. That's a problem. That opens up some more cover for them to fold into. And G2,
okay.
How did they just win a 5v3 in that scenario? Their post-bomb positioning wasn't phenomenal, but they just made that work.
Yeah, I mean, initially 2 big wins coming out for NIP. Initially Zeke falling, and then Patatek kind of getting swarmed through the TP there, but G2 hold the line with sheer frag power, nothing else. I mean, you made the perfect point. The post plant setup wasn't great. It was scrambling to find a position with JD still causing a threat, but NIP just got farmed. Oh, we found another bear.
Teddy bear. I like that. Okay. Zeke looking for a little bit of space here. This is kind of a 4-1 split. Stacked out towards the garden. Mixwell should check on this cleanly. Does. No worries with that.
Catches the headshot to JD as well.
Yeah, I mean, Mixwell's doing damage. We did at least have some benefit to the fact that Rhyme found one with the Bucky, so he can kind of keep some control and funnel them through long rather than sitting towards window. So I guess that's one bonus.
22 HP though, he's gonna have a hard time getting anything else done. Existence will find one, but yeah, actually Existence finds a second now. Finally traded out Rhyme with the right click, and Pit actually on a late lurk comes through hooker here. Spike's being pinged for him, but you can see Rhyme just tucked underneath hooker here with Bucky. The 3-piece on the second round there. A worthwhile event. 900 credits, by the way. That's all it takes.
Bucky fans around the world. Okay, I mean, I straight up gnomed the noise that I made when that happened, so, you know, I'm having a good time. But apparently someone keeps calling my phone, so I feel like I should answer that. I'm gonna leave you 1 round. Are you okay with that?
Absolutely.
Because they've called like 3 times now, so clearly it's important. Welcome to working from home. Fun times. Be right back 1 sec, Hypoc. All of you.
So actually, I'm gonna carry that Bucky over into the next round as well. 5 out of 7 on his ultimate. Existence as well, picking up a couple of kills also. Actually, only really Korea sticking with SMG, expecting, I guess, a minimal investment on the side of G2 back into this, you gotta say, or maybe just a little bit of economy management coming out on the side of NIP. Pit now. I'll look for some presence towards showers. Korea sends his paranoia down a little early to block off that owl drone coming through. But again, his position is clearly noted here, and you can see on the minimap actually, D2 stacking all the way up here. They're going to full clear him. Korea will fall immediately from the Vandal from Mixwell. Smokes down on site now, and they do actually have entry and control of default with these smokes. This will respond onto Chihuahua, but there you go. There comes through the TP rotation. It's only Rhyme now. We know he's got a Bucky all the way over in defensive spawn, so not going to be able to get close enough to do any damage on the way into G2. Atatech will get the spike down.
Spike planted.
Now G2 can set up with all 5 members for the post plant here, and this is where that minimal investment on the side of NIP and the full buy come back in actually from G2. Ardis will find one with the Spectre. Rhyme down to 3 HP now. He's going to have a very hard time. There you go. Zeke lands the Stinger headshot. Will clean him up nicely. Just existence left. Phantom in hand. Expect him to try and save this one out or try and do some damage to G2's economy and equipment. But a clean response from G2 after you got to argue, a fumble in the previous against lesser equipment. So G2 will keep 5 alive. Existence not actually managing to find an exit. The 2-1 now, and NIP, they will, I think, scrappy buy if they do decide to come back in on this one. Like I said, it was a Spectre and a Bucky that was saved through previously. So you can see already, Phantom Vandal, Chihuahua, no weapon on his side, and JD actually opted to pick up a Bucky as well. So scrappy is the word, but full armor across the board. And G2 sitting pretty with their economy.
I have returned. Updates, of course. Ordered some meatballs for dinner.
Nice.
Just wanted to let you know. And for some reason my order went through twice. So the lovely German man called me up saying, hey, this is a bit weird. And I was like, yeah, I'm not that hungry, so thank you for calling. So nice guy. What a nice guy. Shout out to you, Italian man, but German man making me some meatballs tonight. My homie. What I can say is... Shut up. What I can say is I'm glad to be back casting this because answering a phone in 2021 just brings me anxiety. Like, who makes calls? But for now... They're calling back. Dear Lord, what is going on? But for now, G2 are down to 4, so that initial pick is going to weigh heavily.
Well, actually, some aggression shown back towards Showers, actually. Patatech going to be forced out here. The 2-man swing, JD and Chihuahua, but no pick found. And actually, Ardis going to note the position of one player with that Hunter's Fury. Chihuahua finds 2. Mixwell will respond onto existence and find the wallbang as well. Mixwell's so good for these clearances right now. Wants to reload, and actually not expecting JD to swing out on that reload. And actually, Ardis finds themselves in a tricky position now. 1v3 spike planted. Spots out one player in heaven. Can't land the shots. It's getting counter peeked left, right, and center there. Korea finally putting him down. Now NIP will come through with a defuse. Again, a scrappy one. Coming back to that sort of deathmatch playstyle that G2 endorse or employ so often. Again, really, that comes down to the aggression shown back towards Shower. Again, Mixwell's hand is forced over on A short. He has to come out and bail his teammates out. It doesn't come off. G2 will be able to buy back into this one again. Now the economy should
phone off. Here we go.
Level out a little bit. Mixwell operator in hand as well, but he does have his ultimate and Patatech's orbital strikes online.
Okay. A little bit of room to work with now. I'm looking for that early fast peak. Does at least get the advantage of controlling this side of the map for now. And it looks, I've got to say, it does look like NIP are quite well equipped, understanding what G2 like to do. I love the information here on the orb. Constant battle. I remember Sean Gares highlighting this before in the past, how important that, you know, shower control can be for both teams and how both sides will approach it. Love that. And Sean Gares is just too good at his job and too handsome. It's a horrible combo for anyone else in the world. Pitt, though, still trying to work his way through this. Owl drone should be noted right about now. So that comes through. Cage goes up. But while all this happens, he does lose life to this. Unfortunately, the rest of the squad is still over by B, so the hit hasn't come through just yet, but there's the information now. Ultimate has been invested.
Yeah, and actually, I'm not sure if Pitt really read that situation. The drone comes through, but Chihuahua's position, creeping in. Pat actually finds Korea inside that smoke. Rhyme will respond with that second tap. Clean as you like. Orbital strike goes down, forces JD out of that cubby.
Nice.
Oh, Existence actually caught the lineup there. Pat and Zeke will fall, but a very back and forth round. I was saying as you're away, it's sort of like G2 are taking some of these rounds and employing that kind of chaos deathmatch theory that they're known so well for, but NIP responding really well to it.
They certainly are. I mean, I'm happy to see it, and I think this does definitely pay into the aspect of it being a little bit more of a known map. But the thing that's impressing me is it looks like, at least on initial glance, this is still early, keep in mind, the NIP are very aware of how G2 like to play this, and that's not surprising. I mean, G2 are probably one of the forerunners in Europe. If you're going to look at teams, you're going to understand that they are one of the teams to look out for, and Rhymes made light work of Mixwell. Simple stuff for him, maybe not the rest of us. He definitely knows there's more players around here too. But how's Zeke got here?
All the way in, but I guess a double satchel at some point off screen, and that aggression onto Long has actually come back to bite them, because Zeke will find another kill. Korea comes out on top with the classic, but Zeke responds again. 21 HP now. G2 in a 2v3. Spike is down on site, but not planted just yet. Rhyme creeping back, needs to clean up Zeke before Pit can show presence. And here you go, trying to lurk his way up Long once again. Just 5 or 10 seconds off the beat here to try and help his teammate.
Okay. Position noted. Existence goes into play. Just pin him in. There's no chance of escape. The cross is being watched by the Rays. Pit gonna try and eliminate that vision. Now knows that one's, of course, dedicated on the site. Quick little shoulder check from Existence, and the man is too well versed in this. A true veteran of the FPS scene as a whole, but the man, you know, found true glory over in Counter-Strike, and bringing that here has been excellent to witness, honestly. Outside of that, though, the speed in which G2 were able to exploit the vulnerability, at least in towards that hookah room, was quite impressive. However, the answers are there. NIP, very well versed, and something that I'm glad Banks highlighted was we get to see maybe the classic Rhyme come out. Rhyme before he had to IGL as much. Yeah. Rhyme when he's a little freer to take those fights. Already a very strong start. So if we see that carry on, this could be a very interesting match.
Again, just eager to find this control outside towards Market. But G2 not faltering. Too long, 3 pushing towards Hooker now. Expecting Existence to actually stay in, but we can see already who's all the way back over towards the defensive spawn. And Chihuahua, the cam, going to spot all of this information without risking out the peak. He's trying actually getting a bit close for comfort. If he gets the tag there, he could lose his life, because G2 are close enough to punish it. And there you go, both kills actually. Hardest and Patatech finding Korea and Chihuahua on site. Existence. No flashes left, just the fault line and the aftershock. So it's going to be difficult for him to get any value from his utility out of this situation.
Certainly is. Planted. Eyes on Rhyme. Oh, sick on the first, but look how close that angle is. Existence just found.
Okay.
What? No,
4
this
kills.
is tilting. This is horrible. Mixwell had to make a play, and Existence just did some incredible work, joined by Rhyme, and that's around you tilt if you're G2. That's around you should not be losing like that. You had favorable fights throughout that post plant.
I mean, the only thing that threatens that setup, having that much control, obviously 2 members on Long, and having Existence boxed into elbow, when you've already got that control before the spike goes down, it takes a miracle to lose that. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, it literally fell apart in a matter of seconds for G2.
This should be a timeout called to de-tilt from that, honestly. Wonder who's called the timeout. I didn't actually catch it in the game, but I imagine at this point, yeah, the classic tactical pause, but it's in reality we need to take a second to unwind from that, because that's going to really put them in a frustrated place, I'm sure. And they do need answers. The significant amount of the gun rounds have gone NIP's way, and they've looked quite prepared for this. Now, they are on the defending side. I would say G2 are very good on the attack. It's one of their better looks, I'd say, more than most. I'd say they outperform on the attack. However, NIP look accustomed to this, and winning rounds like they just did is very indicative of a good performance coming in from both Existence and Rhyme.
But like I said, though, it's some of these matches are just coming back to it becomes a death matching thing. Like the post plant setup can't come down quick enough. But again, in that previous round, it came down to just being pushed, and there's another push actually coming in. Rhyme actually going to get the kill with the boombot there onto Ardis. Going to invest the showstopper to try and clear up Mixwell, but has to spin around. Takes
this
it.
is. Super bloodied battle there over towards A short. Now the plants come in and there are 2 players ready to play back into this. One is Existence and he's been doing well. However, a disadvantage sits in front of him and probably a fair amount of utility left on G2 considering how quick that hit came in even after the investment of the ultimate. Chihuahua creeping out slowly, seeing how far he can get. A one-way is going to make this tricky, but there goes the smoke. Quick little swing does give him the angle but loses HP for it. Resistance spots one. What can he do with this? Information garnered, isolates, good communication between the two, but the final players are going to make this tricky. That's going to at least remove Mixwell from the equation for a second, but there's still the additional man, and that's going to be Zeke. Zeke, wait! No! Oh, Zeke just saves him. There was a second where that could have fallen to pieces.
And again, the single stack over towards bench there. As soon as was it Patitek on bench? I'm pretty sure it was. Chihuahua finds that kill. And rightfully so, you know, the Rolling Thunder invested to push out any threat from Lamps. By all means, stick for it, but Zeke bailing G2 out, landing those taps through triple. And I mean, puggy is the word. It almost, dare I say, it looks like a ranked game. Like, it's sloppy. It's literally just back and forthing 1v1 peaks and, you know, players picking up 3 kills from spots they have absolutely no business doing so.
I think it also highlights to how they're having to look for these bits of edge. I mean, you saw how pushed up Ryman, I think it was Kriya with him, I'm not 100% sure, were towards, you know, Aiden. They'd pushed incredibly far and made it very, very problematic for G2 even just to take that space. So there's so much commitment and so many early fights. I think it's just due to NIP being quite aggressive. Here comes at least some look of an execution. Smoke wall has gone down towards A. The trade out, Mixwell this time going down to the drone, the bot, excuse me. That's wild. And Kriya, oh, the just quick glance from Panitek. He had to turn back around. A lazy check of the corner will cost you your life. And they didn't even check on that pit. What's going on? This man is better than this. And Rhyme's just proven he's better than all of them. Ardis goes down. And now Zeke left in no man's land. That's gorgeous work from NIP. It may look messy, but the communication, the crossfires, these synergies are coming into play. And poor checking from G2. We've seen Ardis die to the bot that came down, the little Roomba man going out for a walk around. Mixwell suffering to it as well now. NIP are holding beautiful crossfires.
Again, and I know it's the Boombot that picks up the kill on Mixwell though, but again, Rhyme finds another 2 kills that, I mean, he's tucked outside showers behind bench. Yes, Pit walks out, okay, smoke drops unfortunately for Ardis, but it's things like that. It's those weird scenarios where he's picked up 3 kills there, and the round just shuts down after that. This is honestly a better look for NIP than it is a worse look for G2, because it shows they can do this brawling. If G2 want to kind of, you know, W key up A short like Mixwell just did there, NIP can kind of hold the line.
This is kind of sick. I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of enjoying what we're seeing from the ninjas. Kind of surprised, really. I honestly thought with the average of this map's knowledge being quite high, I thought the difference maker would be the individuals of G2, right? Like that would be the logical thing. So again, good work from the ninjas to look in this sort of form. I'm liking that. However, we still know G2, when they get pretty mad, they get pretty good. Now, JD's going to hear that all day long. Oh, there's no subtlety to it. Looking a little flustered by this, and a new battlefield being drawn by all those cages and traps being put up and everything being committed. Chihuahua, in the meantime, did find Zeke. And even with that plant coming in, G2 are down to 2. I want to see where they're at. Where are these G2 players? Pit towards the elbow, does get into a fight with JD, and he's not going to lose that. Mixwell's out of there. Done.
Yeah, just picked apart. I mean, Pit, obviously, he's focused on his cages there, but elsewhere, NIP are able to find 3 kills. Whilst they're trying to isolate that 1 kill, which is JD, in elbow, the rest of NIP just go to work.
He's got a little body armor on, man. He's ready for battle. Look at this dude. Why are they so aggressive, man? Like,
I'm pretty sure
like,
the bear on the left.
Plushie.
The bear on the left is exactly the same as the gun buddy, which is, funnily enough, my favorite gun buddy. It's called like Bear Tactics or something.
Nice. I always liked on this map that when you stab the kind of like spices, just, you know, some stuff a bit. I like it. No, wait. Oh, wait, right? Oh, wait. Is there an option for slow-mo? Can I get that in like half speed possibly? Because I'm apparently really old and that didn't make sense in my brain. How does he get that and fade away?
The worrying thing is, in the kill feed, it wasn't a headshot. That means he actually hit him twice. So he headshot him through the wall and then got the body tap as well. But again, it's this aggression outside Hooker, and look, as soon as it's done, yes, this time they found first blood, but they peel away. Now JD can line a couple up on short. Chihuahua there with the counter peek, and it's only a frenzy in the hands of Ardis, but clean as you like there, closing that one out.
Last round before the switch.
As this counter peek, and again, yeah, the fundamentals this time around on Bind are looking much better from NIP.
You're so sharp. Oh,
Here we go.
You for helping out old person Lauren. Riot just ignoring that Slack message, moving on. Bro, that was mad. Alright, Rhyme, do it again. Double down.
But GG don't seem to have a response to this.
No, they don't.
This early control they're trying to take. Kriya.
Kriya's on the wrong team.
Yeah. I love how Ardis just absolutely no nonsense. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna run straight to spawn and kill you, and then just back to what we gotta do.
I mean,
just fully expecting the Kriya ego ult into spawn.
Now keep in mind, G2 have been running through hookah quite comfortably, and it's been somewhat not necessarily ignored by ninjas, but allowed by the ninjas. Now this time, they're gonna opt to once again ignore it, but they're sitting on the extremities. This is a site execution again. Now last time they didn't check the corners. Let's hope this time it's a little bit cleaner. Here come those ultimates though. Gets to be a problem. Zeke forced up in the air, up and down we go. Ultimate invested, but Mixwell good enough with the rifle. And now the spike should be planted, and G2 looking very poised in this round to at least close on the half.
Last one again, just a brute force round here from G2. NIP down to 2 now. Rhyme has the showstopper Hunter's Fury sent out just to try and find something towards spawn. Nothing tagged in pipes though. Paint shell from Zeke. Gonna stop this push from Rhyme. One satchel left, so he's not gonna be able to get too close here. Chihuahua actually finds one on the way in there. And Ardis, so Chihuahua good for 2, but now finds himself on a 1v3. Pat swings out, finds the headshot. 8-4 for NIP here in the first half of Vine.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you something, Operation. Do you remember if Icebox was an 8-4 half to Ninjas?
It was.
I feel like it was.
NIP started 8-4 on Icebox, yes.
Okay, let's see how this then looks. Which one of you observers is the teddy bear finder? Who is the bear collector? I don't know how I could... Is it Salty J? Ah,
okay.
Now we know. We found ways to communicate. But the side swap comes in. So again, Ninjas last time they looked good on their attack. It was very choreographed, I felt. It was very constructed and well-rounded. I do believe that this could be tricky to make work, but if Rhyme's having a performance today, this could be pretty different.
Yeah, and I mean, more so now, I think, on attack, it's important for NIP to try and find that first, you know, that first 10 seconds control, the first 10 seconds kind of presence shown, and whether or not they find value for it or not, but it's that information you can garner on attack just by looking early on. Anybody's going to peek out. Pit. Trapwire is actually going to get taken out by the drone here. So again, information. They know that Cypher's utility is invested over towards B here, so maybe a little bit of a deeper position from G2 on A, but actually with Rhyme where he is, Pat's got to be careful on the timing. The smoke actually just catches an elbow outside of it. Both players whiffing a little bit, but Rhyme coming out on top of that one in terms of HP. Pat's got to be really careful now.
Yeah. A little scary. Wow, this.
Okay, immediate headshot. Yep.
Doesn't feel great trying to use the utility as best he can while he still stands, pouring it through towards the shower. Good damage, greatest shot. Existence down, Mixwell now put to task. Oh, the body block. You're going to be mad about it. You don't love to. Oh, God, if they lose this, it's going to be so tilting, but no. Zeke and Artis. Okay.
I was tilted watching that. I was actually tilted for Mixwell there because he was jumping, scrambling, trying to get away.
Jumping smash.
God. You can imagine the amount of anger that would have come through. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Ugh, just pain. Straight pain. 8-5 though. Here comes recovery from G2. Be it sketchy, it's a round on the board.
Yeah, a few pistols on the side of NIP, a Sheriff and a Ghost I did see. See SMGs across the board, I think, for G2, unless they were swapped out last second. Again, NIP, as they did on defense, showing a lot of presence in. This isn't the observer cam, this is so all of that information given over to G2. The push comes through. Spike actually getting planted now, but all 5 members of G2 now made their way across existence. Now we'll know there's a camera in hookup. Z, gotta be careful there, a little bit lazy. Actually, JD and Chihuahua will find kills.
It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't even be a bother this round. They're on pistols. And they're not even particularly upgraded pistols. Mixwell having to push in because JD just made that interesting. Oh, how is it this close? It shouldn't be this damn close.
I hate to repeat myself, but again, just players in situations where they, should only find 1 kill, or not even find a kill, are finding 1, 2, 3 kills for NIP. Again, made that one very costly for G2. Mixwell's got his Blade Storm on. Pit with a Sheriff, Patatech with a Spectre, Zeke with a Spectre, Artis and Mixwell with the rifles. Whether or not Mixwell will pass that over should he choose to use his ultimate here on this round.
This is the bit that's going to interest me now, Hypoc, because the rounds, yes, G2 won them, but the way they won them scared the life out of me. Now, they're fiery players on G2. It's something that I like about them, but it can also have downfalls, and if you get frustrated, it can certainly echo. And now we see, obviously, the Ninjas on a better buy. We'll have to see if that does actually make much of a difference. Pit, again, this man, he's got vision. Only seeing 1 though, gonna call that out. Might need some support towards long. I hope that Jet's got really good vision. Whoever it is on that B side is gonna have to really keep track on this one, because they're about to push up through Garden. The cross is still being watched. It is Mixwell over here waiting. Smokes come in. They are still waiting this one out. They have not fully committed to the site just yet.
Yeah, but 2 members of G2 actually still over on A side, so now you can see the rotation coming through, but keep an eye on the minimap. There you go. There comes the TP rotation back in. That's what makes Zeke and Patatech's position important here. Chihuahua gonna get tucked in here and gonna get a freebie on Pit as well. So that might actually be the green light to send a few more bodies back towards B.
Oh, they're in. Honestly, you could still hit A with this. They heard that TP come
30
through.
seconds
I don't know how much they know of Mixwell, and I think this is going to be the interesting one. They're going to go through the TP themselves. This is existence. Just his brain, the cogs turning. There we go. Towards it. Out spots it. Done. It's going to be Mixwell finding Chihuahua, though. So they've lost the presence towards B. And now Mixwell and Artis. Lock it down. Lock it out. Zeke comes in out of nowhere as well. Shut down. Say goodbye. G2 finally find that form I'm looking for.
I'm pretty sure Zeke just full on went through the TP there. Like, all members of NIP were just hyper focused towards site, but great combination, both finding 2 kills apiece. This is a better look already from G2 in the second half. And again, I was talking about economy wise, it's a lot messier than it was on Icebox, but once they get back to that 8-8, it's the economy that becomes the factor, because that momentum builds.
Ooh.
Speaking of momentum, there's the option screen.
Zeke, let's see what he's got here. Chihuahua already working through towards showers. Or worse for wear, as Patatech's going to claim that, nicely utilizing the smoke in the background, keeping Chihuahua from having any support potentially. Mixwell. Being patient. Does have support there with him. Playing towards elbow. Not too much to worry about just yet. And you can see the patience here, should I say. Pit trying to keep track on this. Didn't see anyone just yet, but surely knows there's plenty of potential already flying through though. You're going to see it. Nice work from Mixwell. The sounds are spot on. Give me his headphones. Mine just don't do that. And it's Artist looking sharp as ever, and they are controlling this round. No threats this time truly being found by those sheriffs, by those... Ooh, easy now, Mixwell. He's starting to come online.
That was clean.
Yeah, it was. But it was against an eco team, so I'm fine with that. But I think they need that, Hypoc. Like, there's something to be said about, like, the mental approach, and it's something, you know, we'd talk about in Counter-Strike in the past. Clean rounds give you such a better feeling, right? Close rounds, yeah, you can clutch them out and whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, round win's a round win. But when you get nice, clean rounds like that, because G2, yes, they've won 4, but some of those 4 were super contested in ways that they shouldn't have been necessarily for a team that's a heavy favorite. So to see them picking that up cleanly is good. But this time, Rhyme's not going to fall for Paditech's tricks. That was something that previously worked out before. We saw that isolated player over towards Showers. This time, punishment's there. Zeke gonna just lob in the paint shell and hope for the best.
See, Hunter's Fury gets invested there. On the side of an IP, nothing really gained from it in terms of information or a kill, to be honest, because no tags came onto G2. So Spike now makes its way back over towards B. A little bit of a fake thrown down. Korea going to smoke off lamps on A, but Mixwell positioned for this kill after the recon drone drops. He finds the first, but Existence will swing and find the trade. Artist just needs to buy a little bit of time for his teammates now. A lot of damage coming off, actually. Finds a kill. Traded out by the showstopper, though.
Does he go for it? He's feeling bold, he's feeling brave, and it pays dividends. Already looking for more. Pit's there by his side, and the timing was just perfect. And now a 1v2, JD has been nuts, though. How can he isolate this to a 1v1 2 times over? Looks for the first, he gets it. Oh! JD! Quick as lightning, this guy does not know how to drop a round. Left in that scenario. I thought they were going to double peek, look for something smart, a better way to approach it. But JD, that snap on the second, man.
But I think JD's play is so bold that they just didn't expect him to be there. Like, they again, double swinging on towards front of Tube. You wouldn't expect somebody in a 1v2 situation to just be standing out in the open there, but you're absolutely right. I mean, hits the first, the snap to the second, clean as you like.
We do have a timeout coming in. I believe that's for G2. I think I just saw Pit's name, so should be the case. Thank you. See, look at that. I like talking to observers. Like, normally I have to, like, have you ever heard Rush in Counter-Strike? He's our observer normally. And he tries to bully me a bit, you know? Like, he's very rude. So it's nice having kind observers. And oh god, is this the Mixwell shot? Here we go. Yeah. Look at this filth. I want to watch it. I'm just gonna sat here watching. Oh,
Perfect.
What a gamer. Absolute bloody gamer, this man. Looks like we are back underway. And it looks like a very all-in sight towards A. There's no subtlety to this one. It's all go.
Hey, Korea actually going to full-on challenge Patitech behind lamps. Artist now posted up, holding 2 hour out of Showers. Again, Rolling Thunder gets put in, but no value found off it right now. G2 holding the line perfectly against this ability usage. JD actually going to take a lot of damage. Artist swings and cleans that one up with the help of the boombot. A bit of an overpeak there, but 3v1 now, so should be very much winnable. There you go. Existence not able to get anything else done from the A short cubby. Again, just another bread and butter. Just it comes through like all the utility and the ability usage is completely nullified by G2 and NIP. I mean, their hand is forced, right? They need to try and capitalize on that usage, and they're unable to.
Yeah, we do have a tactical timeout for NIP coming in, and I think it's probably a good time to kind of go through this. Now, they could even extend it if they want to. I mean, it's a little bit more viable in Valorant that you can win eco rounds. Like, even with like a sheriff or 2 bit of light armor, you definitely could, but I don't think they want to particularly buy too low. They're going to be on pretty low money anyway, apart from Korea or Existence.
It's things like, you know, Sova's ultimate, Razor's ultimate, occasionally Breaches are ones that you can sometimes convert these eco rounds if, you know, if you throw down a Sheriff or a Stinger, which is only a 200 credit difference, right? Those are the ones that you look to. And then, you know, further on from that, Sova has Shock Darts. He has obviously the Owl Drone and whatnot. Isolating a kill like that on an eco round, even if it's a, you know, a 4-man charge down with classics, like that's your best chance of picking up kills and converting those. Looks like it's just going to be Sheriffs on this, and they don't have the benefit of any of those ultimates. They kind of used, again, Hunter's Fury 2 rounds ago, Rolling Thunder invested, Showstopper not online just yet. So this is a really difficult round for NIP here, because it's going to put G2 on double digits.
And also, I wouldn't be surprised if they somewhat take their time to talk through their options going into the full buy. The next time the Ninjas get the opportunity, because they need an answer. G2 have definitely stabilized. They've got their players now really picking up some pace. They've, you know, definitely picked up some of that individual form, which is always scary, right? That's always the kind of bottom line with G2, is that if 2 of their players turn up, you're in trouble. If any more turn up, you're not going to win it. But right now we are seeing a couple of their players really find that, like, little bit ahead form. Zeke forced to make a choice here. Mixwell does have a really nice angle on the cross. Not necessarily a fumble on the utilization of Cypher's utility as you know, as a smoke as such, but yeah, that is very filthy. This man is just doing the dirty, and actually loses out to Rhyme. Now, Spike is down, a gun's been recovered. Now, they are working with very little here. Keep in mind, it's frenzies, bits and pieces. It's really not a lot. And wait, that was sloppy from Zeke. Maybe not expecting that angle to be available, but he did find Chihuahua in the meantime. And now Rhyme's really going to struggle to make anything happen with this.
Yeah, the Recon gets destroyed immediately. JD not going to be able to get any of that cheese through the smoke. He gets revealed in return. Zeke will pick it up. Again, just the amount of damage gone onto NIP. There was 3 players down sub 20 HP, I'm pretty sure. So again, G2 just needed to stabilize, take their time, and sweep through the site, which is exactly what they did. Now, I think...
Tactical timeout, there we go. They're fighting for it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at it, it's, yeah, only 1 player on NIP over 500 credits, and that's Korea. So this is when it becomes really frustrating, actually, in Valorant, is when you're kind of in this economic struggle where, I mean, you basically, you can afford, what, 1 more mistake in terms of a round loss? But now, it's actually, this is a do or die round for them.
Certainly is. They have very little time to come up with the best option available. The timer now ticking down. 4 rounds on the trot of the start here for G2 in this half. Or bound back for NIP, but then the run continued. So, for the Ninjas now, this is going to be pretty brutal. They need to find a way forward, and the hits have not looked choreographed enough. They've not looked well-rounded, but that is another problem found. Right now, there's another. He doesn't quite outdo Zeke, though. A 1-4 trade out, but information garnered. And another mistake, I feel like Patisec's been caught off a little bit here in the showers. Maybe needs to adjust a touch, but you know how valuable that is to a defending side. However, Ninjas did exploit that, but they lost a player for it.
I'm fine on defense with it, as long as that trade comes through, as long as Zeke can secure that kill and bring it to a 4v4. You know, I'd rather be at kind of a disadvantage on defense than I would attack in terms of the man advantage, but what's the value? It's, you know, losing the smoker, potentially losing the molly, the stim pack, the orbital strike.
I like this positioning from the Sova here, JD. Oh, the timing, his patience just seemed to leave him at the wrong time. If he'd held that angle, maybe could have done something, but that indicates a lurker,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Exactly. And look at the rotation from NIP. They've read this perfectly.
We can explain that after this round in case people aren't aware of why that was so integral and how this is a misread. Pit is completely unawares. He's going to be caught off. Yeah, the barrel's given away already. Kriya's seen it and done it. I got a little nervous. Kriya's not having a great performance here, but we need to see good post ones. They are clearing this like they expect more players. Their strat worked. It worked and then some. But now they still need to stick the landing. We still have the ultimates coming in. Positions now noted. They know where they are. Artist spams away, hoping for the best. No one's there. Post plants predominantly towards short. Mixwell on the swing though, finds existence. That's a big name gone. JD though, the swing out, that's 2. He even wants more as well, but you can see where Zeke is. Clearing by process of elimination. Zeke only has so many options, and they're on it. Korea shuts him down. But let's talk about why that was important with the lurk player there.
Yeah, as soon as Pitt goes hunting down A short there, that gives the information over to NIP. It's like, hey, you know, potentially the rotations come through and Pitt's looking for something else around the back line. So NIP read it perfectly, because that kind of gives away, it's the indicator there isn't a second man on site, or at least, you know, Pitt's playing aggressively to get that information early enough so that it benefits G2. As soon as JD takes contact there, I mean, he plays it perfectly, backs up, doesn't take the 1v1, and as soon as that happens, all 3 members come back through market, the hit through A comes.
Mixwell this time. Oh, wow, Korea, that is bold. I mean, you're not having the best game here, but maybe build up that confidence. Maybe this is how you do it. Switch it up a little, find some... Oh, he's let the trigger disciplines forward, but now they're in between a rock and a hard place, forcing Mixwell to fight, and he actually wins it. JD in the meantime walks in and just pushes them out. Say goodbye as Zeke now left in a dire scenario. Too many angles to contain. NIP bound back so hard.
This is big as well, and hopefully can keep 5 alive from this. As I say that, Rhyme gonna get tapped out there. Korea will secure the deal, but that's a big round now. NIP on 11. And I'll have to take a look at G2's economy. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I have an ultimate online, Zeke with the showstopper, so potentially he can donate a rifle away. Pit down on the sheriff. Hardest with the operator. Oh no, thinking better of it. Okay, yeah, switch out. It's an important point to make, right? It's an important point to make, is here, what's the value in the operator as opposed to 2 rifles? Again, Pitt gonna play his life for the info, yes, okay.
I don't think it's about the weaponry, I think it's about the player wielding it right now.
Fair point. Touche.
I think they're investing on their Mixwell rather than their Pitt, you know? And Zeke, back. They've gone a slightly different. Yeah, it could have been a lot more than what he garnered. Now, you can see utility being forced back into this to clear hookah, and it's gone pretty well so far. Rhyme now controls at least the first steps towards this, but actually a repeat potentially going back in. If Zeke fancies doubling down on this, that's quite dangerous. They're obviously very cognizant of the fact that someone's there, and it looks like they're trying to fake other rotations again, trying to pull players over here, keep maybe that additional player towards B, but it's not the case. Zeke, well done. Very strong peek from him. Completely prepared and just hammers it home. And now they're going towards the harder side. Keep in mind, Mixwell did have that off, so he is positioned and ready to go.
Mixwell posted deep in heaven, actually.
But they did see a molly, right? So they know that...
Yeah, exactly.
30 seconds left.
That's, again, that's just information. Just that utility shown there tells NIP that there is a little bit of a different setup this time around.
Yeah, this is a big difference, and you can see the site here has been red, but obviously they won't be there for the exact hit. Pitt's on the site and Zeke's on the site, but Korea's going to lose his way in. In trouble though, Pitt now just spams through. The sheriff comes in, JD denies the rotation, or at least the first step. Yeah, timing is a problem. The spike is loose, they can't do anything. They've run out of time, it's going to be 11-11, and JD couldn't even escape that. They ran out of options at the end there. Eventually, I feel like the correct placement, but the timing was so far off.
Yeah, that's a bit of a fumble in my eyes. Economically, not a massive deal. Again, 11-11. Going to be able to get weapons across the board on the side of NIP. Obviously, because Existence did survive, he can drop one out. Yeah, that didn't go the way it should have. And again, Zeke wins a massive 1v1 on Hooker there. Again, it's this weird, awkward peak battle between him and Ryan, but just that win, it kind of kills 20 to 25 seconds in the round because NRP are so split.
Very different look again this time. We have Raze over towards A. G2 being very fluid in approach, kind of putting players in very unique positions. Mixwell this time posted towards B with Pitt. And obviously we saw the solo insight towards A from Pitt as well. So really adjustable positionings, it seems. Patitek working site as best he can. In a moment. first bit of contact made through showers. They're trying to isolate. It's created by an artist. That's not a bad start on the trace there. Even better for Existence. Zeke, though, still tucked into the back of the site. Trying to buy time, trying to allow rotations, tries to avoid it, tries to do everything he can, and Chihuahua moves into the trap. You don't get to play Zeke like that. They're pouring everything into trying to get rid of this one player. There's only 2 of them alive, and again, they go into a scrap. JD, though, a different beast altogether, does best Zeke eventually. Now the retake. Not easy with an op. Never has been. Did he see him? He's seen enough. He knows Existence has been playing this corner. How do you remove him from it? Such an integral round. That Spike cannot leave that corner yet.
Yeah, this is difficult. I'm not entirely sure why Pitt's gone all the way back over here. Maybe expecting the TP. They don't know that Existence has got the Spike, but there's no reason for him to be there.
I don't love it.
Because JD's position was noted, and so was Existence. So now the flank comes through Market. Maybe a little bit of a saving grace on that.
We'll see. I mean, it already looked like Breach was considering this, and he is. But he does get the kill. Big work from Pitt, and now JD in a 1v2. Now, information is limited, but somewhat. Again, process of elimination. Mixwell can clear as he goes. He has some idea. The smokes go up, so now he knows that Mixwell's around. Cypher, there it is. Good timing on the ultimate here. Will keep some of the information rolling, but JD still needs to do this. He's still trying to fight it out. Mixwell, he does not lose that. And the defuse comes through. G2 get to 12. This could be all but over now.
Match point.
A huge round from Zeke. This nade again here just does so much damage on the way out. Existence gets down to low HP. Big win here against Rhyme. And then he actually gets caught in the Rolling Thunder. I think it's Chihuahua that tries to swing on him in lamps, and he just hits the first tap. Just instantly. JD has to, and obviously hard clear him to make use of that time and the space, but Zeke's done huge to get 3 kills in that round.
Now, there is a fashioned buy, but the problem is that Rhyme is going to be left with less than ideal. I wonder what the final look is for this side. Chihuahua quietly approaching, going through the motions. Definitely sees one lose his life. Padded tech, so sharp, so swift towards the showers there. Does cause Artist to head over towards A. So they would have a favorable, at least, approach towards B, but you can see the camera. It's almost that third man. They now know the information. Do they rotate off the back of it?
Rhyme wary of it. The orbital strike actually to come through and clear both players out. A hookup. Showstopper coming through as well. Not sure if that's going to come through. It did come through the TP with the boom bot. So again, one player isolated in TP here, and here comes the mad rotation back over towards A. They're going to leave Pitt on site, Zeke inside TP, and the timing. If they give this up, I'm pretty sure Rhyme is just going to stay posted on this, because this is a huge threat to NIP here.
It is. Now, it did at least cause rotations. That paranoia from that previous time where they took that TP all the way around towards A caused that punishment. But it will be Pitt. He has to do damage here. He has to do more than he did before. Right on Zeke, so that's that fight towards TP. Now found, but Artist still doing damage. Big man turns up in big rounds. 23 seconds. Patience paying dividends, though. Right finds Artist. And here we go. Pitt finally comes into this. Now, look, a 3v2. Still favorable to G2. The spike's still not planted. They cannot find enough respite to be able to get it down. Finally, Priya goes to the plant. Pitt swings in, Rhyme's down. This is looking all good unless Priya can finally come online. He can't do it. It's G2 to win it out, but what a close affair that was.
Way closer than I was expecting. 13-11 on Bind is not the story.
秀吉の心を何だけにしまけだ僕が排除する恋も喧嘩もお城行ってよ一刻も早くここから立ち去ることをおすすめするわあんたをお地蔵さんの隣に並べてやるよあら今日は退屈 だったのにな。
へいや頑張れ。
じいちゃん、入れ歯はタンスの上だぞ。
君の負けだ。
なんだこんなもんか。眠くなっちまうよ。いやよいやよも好きのうちって言うだろ。今日は大安気がいいね。
あんたに惚れちゃったよ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
命知らずはかぼちゃと一緒に煮込んでやるよ。時間だ。時間だけが僕をこうに駆り立てる。
じいじやれやれ。
バカ前に出てくんな。お意外と意地っ張り。夢は大胆に繊細に。これって女と似てるだろ。命の限り祭るだ。この先には僕の夢がある。楽しいな。そうでもない？
エローゴンタがあるな。
ぶつけても食べてけよ。
そろそろ豊臣に下る気になったかい？君の負けだ。いただこう。
この先には僕の夢がある。知れまくって逃げるに限るね。夢はまだ続いている。
いただこう。君の負けだ。君の負けだ。
Menang Jo.
客が来たぞ。寝床は仏まで十分じゃ。筋肉了解。進め、我ら筋肉隊。ここは本願寺総本山であります。
いただこ
う。本部、無理をするの。
何、これぐらいわけもないさ。
節操の筋肉が極楽浄土へ送るであります。
君の負けだ。
節操の筋肉に勝てると思ったでありますな。半兵衛様、俺たち豊臣軍に入れて幸せです。バゲかわし、朝の走り込みが足りるか。
降伏したまえ。ここは豊臣軍が制圧した。
天女様、この方々を倒すのでありますね。
いただ
く。節操の筋肉もんがよう鍛えておるわい。さらに鍛えるであります。よし、いい勝負だったであります。そびえ立つは我が旗印よ。
この先には僕の夢がある。夢はまだ続いている。
いただくであります。天女様の筋肉がうねりを上げているであります。
いただこ
う。うわあ、わしの金が出た。天女様の必殺川材よ。
いただこう。時間を無駄にしたよ。
節操、金の力で何でも買うのじゃ。筋肉を買うのじゃ。
夢はまだ続いている。今すぐ5000万両用意できるかい？そしたら豊臣軍に入れてあげてもいいよ。
金じゃ金じゃ。おれ拾え。金じゃ。金だ。
なんと 寝返ったか。
私にその低たらくを見せるとは。
これは俺の金だ。誰にも渡さねえ。いくらでもあるぞ。ほれ拾
時間だけが僕をこうも駆り立てる。
これで田舎の母ちゃんに薬が買える。頭をそれ。金を拾え。あなたが死んだらお経をあげるよ。金だ。ついでに腹筋200回やっちゃうぜ。今なら筋肉もついてお得である。俺金の風呂に入るのが夢だったんだ。
いただこう。いただこう。いただこ
う。気の使いと見やば
い。いただこう。
Hebat karakter ini, Jo. Orochi boleh lah, Orochi. Bulat. Bajingan itu. Senang aku sama cewek ini perek.
どこまでも逃げるがいいよ。できるならね。
天王山に明智光秀はいない様子。今のうち山頂に陣を引きましょうぞ。い
ただこう。
ようこそ。ここはあの世とこの世の境の地。我らを縛り付けて離さぬ者は誠の恐怖よ。恨むな。我らとて光秀様には逆らえぬのだ。ここ山崎は天王山が要になりますぞ。天王山山頂を先に取った軍が勝つ。拙者も光秀様にだけは切られたくない。
いただこ
う。お見事。門を抜きました。扉一枚、どうでもいいことではありますが。さあ、急がないと大変なことになりますよ。
いただこ
う。貴様はもう川を渡ったのだ。
君の負けだ。
明智軍兵、予想以上に進行速度が速い。
君の負けだ。いただこう。
いただこういただこう。
一刻一秒でも早くあなたを刻みたい。
君はもはや常軌を逸している。制御できない人間は僕には不要だ。いただこ
う。黒い五光がさしてる。うわ
いただこ
う。笑いが止まりませんよ。
君の負けだ。
水秀様、俺は明智軍ですってば。
恨んでください。憎しみもまた格別。
後ろは振り返らない。前へ進むのみだ。
あなたの墓穴を用意しておきます。
夢はまだ。
おお、怖い。殺されてしまいそうですね、私。
いただこう。
明智、拙者蛇に睨まれたカエルの気分でござる。
やれやれ。
血の池地獄でも見に行きましょうか。
Mudah bang.
この世にはびこる悪め、正義の名において貴殿を削除する。
長政様、一応お手伝いするから。
お断りの戦たちよ、戦闘だ。浅井長政は城にいるぞ。各地の砦を占拠し、浅井を誘い出すのだ。まだ先は長い。進み続けようぞ、半兵衛。
もちろんだよ。
砦を攻めるか。浄化される運命とも知らず。
お願い、落とさないで。ひどい。
落ちた。まずは一つ。残る砦は3つでござる。
長政様、砦が。
恐れていたことだ。悪は許さん。消え失せよ。
いただこ
う。杞憂するな。背筋を伸ばせ。私を侮辱する気か。許さぬ。
やめて。長政様を怒らせないで。
いただこう。いただこ
う。2つ目取ったり。 この調子で残り2つを。
また落ちた。
貴様らそれでも断りの戦か。拙者を倒すか。面白い。
いただこ
う。断りの戦たちよ、守りを固めろ。
はあ、落とされる。落とされてしまう。
その砦も落とそうというのか。
なんでそんなことするの。位置が悪いの。
1に戦術、2に連携、3子もあって5本やり、5つ振るうは我のため。進め、悪の軍団を滅ぼすのだ。はっ。熱き炎がお前を焦がす。いざ参る。思うがままに軍港を上げよう。落ちたぞ。3つ目を落ちたり、残すところはあと1つ。
長政様、
う。いただこう。
3つ目の砦が。
うるさい。無駄口を叩くな。1。砦完全占拠成功。お見事なり。これ以上我が聖域は汚せぬ。
長政様、うちも一緒に行ってよ。
勝手にしろ。さっさと来い。
ごめんなさい。
いただこう。
ごめんなさい。
イチ、ベソベソと泣くな。
飴をもってして兵を動かす技量、君からしっかりと学んだ方が良さそうだね。
あなたが蝕まれてるの、位置にはわかるわ。
悪に仕える者は皆悪だ。
君の正義は随分と空白が目立つね。
これが位置の罪。
いただこう。
様、
そんな死なすつもりはなかったの。
いただこ
う。よくも私の意地を。い
ただこ
う。私の敗北、それはすなわち正義の死ならば、なおさら負けるわけにはいかない。
夢は
次に死にたいやつ、前に出てこい。
一刻も早くここから立ち去ることをお勧めする。
私が貴殿を必ずや封印しよう。
滅びろ。命の限り。なぜだ、なぜ私の正義が通じない。
いただこう。
夢はまだ。私は間違っていない。
君の負けだ。
いいものをお見せしよう。
Geblek.
行け。
敵襲。松永久志で6周でござる。
要を崩せば開かれる。城も門も同じことだ。
破られなければどうということはないよ。
わかるぞ。貴様は我らと同じ匂いがする。K がなぜ得意になっているのかわからないな。
あんた人間の本質を知らないのさ。
爆弾兵出撃準備せよ。爆死か。 K も味わってみてはどうかな。
さよなら。哀れみをもって君を葬ろう。いただこう。この先には僕の夢がある。
状況とは流転する。有利不利、それが何だ。
助けて。
そうそう、 K に見せたいものがあったのだ。
あれは我が軍の。
人を取るか門を取るか、さあどちらだ。
そこで待っていたまえ。今向かうよ。
援軍だ。助かったぞ。助かったぞ。
いただこう。
すまないね、少しよそ見をしていた。
助けない。生きるために殺す。食うのと一緒だろ。
いただこう。
皆の者仁王車用意。
僕には夢がある。じゃあ
止めてみたまえ。壊しがいがあるだろう。明日は我が身だ。気をつけるとしよう。
おお、天の助け。この後を一生忘れませぬ。
K は何のために戦っている。私が直接確かめに行くべきだ。
夢はまだ。
状況、損害は軽度。
名もなきもんなど壊しても問題はないだろう。
本部、無理をするな。
これぐらいわけもないさ。
状況、門半壊。
先は長い。どちらに転ぶか見守るとしよう。守ることに意味があるとは思えないがね。K の真相はもっともだが安心するといい。彼は K の夢を重荷に感じていない。きっとね。
状況、損害甚大。
まさかとは思うが、自分は勝てるとでも思っているのかな。
夢はまだ続いている。
あんた、俺たちのやり方に口を出せるのか。
あなたとはあまり話したくない。僕の弱さを嫌というほど気づかされる。
状況、門を崩壊するぜ。ここまでか。
認めてしまえば楽。K の負けだ。
いただこう。
次に。
one, that means that we're going to see 4 or 5 maps, and Summon FC, they are kicking things off on Bind. So we finally get to see a second Bind in this tournament. Hypok, what do you think of that pick from them?
I mean, I'm gonna try and remember this quote here, and whether it's Lauren or Yinsu in chat, somebody will correct me, but I'm pretty sure at first sight they said, yeah, Bind is actually our weakest map. We're the least prepared there, and they came out and put on an absolute show on Bind. I mean, that was where we saw the Viper set up, the breach set up, just fantastic synergy, this choreographed setup from Summon FC that for me, you know, lit the world on fire. So it doesn't really surprise me they've kind of used that now, but I mean, to go from kind of first strike saying it's the weakest map to now say, yeah, we're picking it as our home ground and we'll take it to Team Liquid, which, funnily enough, I mean, in official appearances, Liquid are 8 for 8 here. Sorry, 8 wins, 8 losses on Bind. So maybe a calculated map pick there, or Summon FC are just, you know, they're hoping to kind of set the precedent early on in map 1 and stamp this out in 2 maps.
We do know then that Mystic is probably going to pick up the Viper on this one. Lauren, that means they have lost the element of surprise there.
I mean, I think that's the big story as a whole, though, for Summon, as well, is that when they first kind of came onto the board, they were underestimated by the wider audience. Those in the know definitely put them on the radar, but all of the stuff they were getting away with will be noted now. You cannot take Summon lightly. They are not the underdog anymore. They've proven that's not the case. So this is the first time I'm seeing them make after first strike up against a high-tier European team and see how much they still get away with, because they have, I'd say, Doma and some of the players, you know, Chak had a great game. Some of these players are incredibly good individually as well, so they've got the firepower there to supplement it. But you're right, some of those picks, some of those quirks, some of those individual things that came through won't be a surprise, but they have the firepower to support it not needing to be. So I honestly think Summoner are the real deal that Liquid wanted to be right now, and I don't know how it's going to look, genuinely.
Well, Boaster did say on his Twitch channel yesterday, it's going to be a 2-0 today. I believe he did a lot of fisticuffs as he said it. And they were looking good yesterday. However, I still feel like, especially on Haven, we didn't necessarily see what we're going to see from Summon FC today, because as you guys described, it was a bit of deathmatch against Monkey Business. Like, Doma had a 1.77 rating on Haven, because to be honest, by the end of their defensive half, they were just going out and pushing the offense back into their spawn.
I mean, just one thing I made this point earlier, which was coming away from first strike. Again, the demonstration we saw from Summon FC, yes, very well rehearsed, very well prepared. That default setup on pretty much every map they played looked great. But yesterday, I mean, I was blown away by how good they were able to demonstrate their fundamentals. I mean, stacking up their gunfights and individuals kind of taking 1v1 fights, but also, you know, baiting out rotations and being in position to punish those rotations as well. They were spread so thin, but still finding kills yesterday. So that's my biggest concern going up against Liquid, is how well that they can kind of counter the firepower that Summon FC also have at their repertoire.
I got about 5 seconds apiece to say our predictions. I'm going to say Summon FC for this one. I'm actually going to say it's also cheeky 2-0. I know I got that wrong earlier, but, you know, G2 won in the end. Lauren?
I will say 2-0 to... No, I'll say Summon wins, but not 2-0.
And finally, Hypok.
Stole mine. I was going to say Summon FC coming out on top, but I don't think it will be in the first 2 maps.
Well, you know what? I want to at least see 4 maps, because we are saying goodbye to one of these teams today, and they've both been thoroughly entertaining their performances so far. And 2 other thoroughly entertaining chaps here to Robbie Williams you, that's a very old reference because I'm 32 years old, are James Banks and Mitch Mann.
I love that Hypok's just face palming at that. Oh, Mitch, are you ready for some fun, mate?
Me
oh no, please don't. No DMCA. No singing.
I was only watching that video the other day, man. It is weird. The Robbie Williams music videos are uncomfortable, especially when he takes all of his clothes off and then his skin off. But you know what? We're not on camera anymore, so I don't need to wear any clothes. Any of the non-essential clothes, of course. So I'm just sat here in my socks, ready to go. Let's get on to Bind, baby. And already, you know, there is a big smile on my face because my man Mystic, my one true love in this life, has picked Viper. I love you, Mystic. This is going to make me biased towards Summon FC and say they'll take the series. What about you, Banks? Where are you going on this?
I, for one, think that Summon have the upper hand in it because the Summon we saw just on the first game that they had here was a better looking Summon mechanically, right? There's one thing when they came into it as underdogs in first strike main event because they weren't signed, people didn't know the names so well. Boaster, Chak, they've got a bit of high-level experience in Counter-Strike, but the rest of them are relatively unknown. They built this from the ground up. They've had the strategy. They've had the the ideas and to think outside the box. You spoke about it yourself, Boaster wanting to be this mini Angel. Well, actually, he's overtaken Angel, right, in some parts of it. So you got to look at this team now and think, what was the bit they needed to add to their skill? Well, it was the aim. It was the crosshair placement. It was feeling more comfortable in certain situations. Well, guess what? They have mastered that, if that first game was anything to show us. Now they've got to go up against the likes of Liquid and Scream, for instance, and be able to do it. I think they've got a good chance in it, and I feel like Liquid right now, they're probably the ones on the back foot here a bit.
This is a slow start to the pistol, so I'm going to bring up, we've got 2 Skies, first of all. And Yinsu actually told me in chat, I'm going to freak out when I see the composition of Summon FC on both maps, so I'm excited to see the second one. But starting this one out, obviously, we've got a Sky, we've got the Brimstone, and we've got the beautiful old Viper. So I'm loving Summon FC's comp, and I like that Team Liquid, again, are going to be innovating and looking for new compositions. This is the second bind, excuse me, that we've gotten to see, but the first one that you and I have gotten the cast banks, and certainly the first for Liquid and Summon FC this year. So we get to see their different approaches, and with 1 minute left on the clock, there's still not really been any engagement. We had a little bit of info gained on B long, but a full rotate and an A hit just about to come on through. The alarm bot destroyed, and a molly to stop any further aggression, but they're coming straight up mid from Summon FC, using the wall to get into lamps and open up this site. Hopefully, all they have to worry about is Bath, and maybe Scream if he pushes through.
Yeah, that's something you always should be scared of. Scream pushing through at any point to see what damage he can do. He's been looking good on this Jet, and he's going to look to try and get some of the opening kills here, but he takes a lot of damage. And Summon, well, they've got him with the plant. The heal's going to come straight into Scream. It's Sky healing him up as much as possible. Doma's position is one that can be easily checked, but he can do some nice damage. He can keep him out of lamps for now. The fake tap onto the defuse comes in. Shots start to be landed. It's Liquid that'll pick up the opening kill. Now it's the battle back, but they're falling for the trap. Liquid was set up and ready for it. Someone needs to make a move, and they need to push up over this. You saw Scream. He flew up, drafted up high to get some extra information, but Chak, he's not going to win that. They're all around him, completely focused down. And now Boaster, he's wanting to play around this turret. Mystic's there as well to swing around at it. He's only picking up 1 kill. It's already tapping away quite fast. Have they got this? No! Oh my god, Summon, they bought enough time.
That is absolutely massive by Summon. I thought, you know what, if he gets this kill, they win the round. But no, they had it in the bag already, delaying enough time. They say the sky is the limit, and for Summon, that has definitely been the case over the last couple of months. Well, the exception of Heretics. But hopefully Sky is going to be the limiting factor for Chak. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table. Already, we're seeing a little bit of poking out, grabbing information, exactly what Sky is good for. And for those of you that don't know about this agent, it's worth mentioning, her flashes are not only controllable, so you throw them out and you can actually, just like a little drone, fly them around the place in whatever direction you want. You choose when to pop them as well. And if you blind somebody, it tells you that they're blind. This is useful because right now, for example, he's just flashed into back. Nobody got blind, so he knows there's no one there, but he's going to double check. You always got to be careful when you're up against pistols and not leave a corner completely exposed. Now they know we can nice and clean push up Bath and take that control. They use the wall to block off Lambs from taking a peek, and now get these players worried that they've already pushed out to the A site. That causes the rotate from Scream, now coming in through the defender spawn to reinforce the A site because they haven't got information. Any second now, a push could come in on A, but it's the B side. It's a big fake, a big ruse, and now they've got a weakened B defense of just 2 players to push on into.
One thing here, right, that we're going to see, and I want a lot of players, if you're playing Sky in your ranked games, look at how these two are going to use Sky. It might be different approaches to it, but we don't see enough of correct usage of Sky in and out of games when we're playing right now. And in terms of what someone will offer in this round, well, you do expect them to kind of run on and charge on forward against Liquid here. More flashes going through to see if they're going to get the sound cue for it, like you mentioned, Mitch. Spike will go down. Boaster's nicely covered off here. Chak just sat back. Ready to fire off whenever's needed. And for Liquid, a 3-man retake when you have less of a weapon. You don't hope much in here. Maybe you can try and grab yourself a weapon or 2. But a setup again, and the one thing we always should be praising someone on is their after plant position. They play off each other so well. The problem is, like we saw in one of the games, the first game they played, right, that sometimes they can be made feel uncomfortable if they can't get into those positions. But their setups and where they want to be and where they want to place themselves are huge.
Exactly. Look, for Summon FC, though, the decision-making in this round was so good. They avoided every possible problem that you could face up against the weaker weapons. We start with the fake out on A, using Viper utility alongside Sky to clear out bathroom. make the players inside of Lamp very cautious and passive. They're then worried about the full push, so they rotate Scream over. Now B is weaker. Then they put a drone, so Summon FC all this while are rotating around. They go outside of Hookah. They drone through, again, making sure that a Classic, a Shorty, any of these weapons aren't stuck in a corner or a crossfire setup ready to take them out. They clear out Hookah, then look to push the B site. The fight, because they've lost Hookah, because they have no information on A, Team Liquid have to peek down long. Either that or just wait and probably lose the round. So they try to make a play, they rush out, and there's 2 players waiting for them. Mystic shreds them to pieces, they get the site, then it's a 5v3. And as you said, you know, a retake with lesser weapons like that, and man disadvantages as they were, you're never really going to get away with a clean scenario. So overall, really impressive stuff from Summon FC on an individual and on a team level. Straight out of the gate. That's what I expect to see from them, and what I was always saying in First Strike, that even if they didn't end up coming out on top and dominating, it didn't matter, because this team just needed time, much like a lot of teams in the early stage of Valorant, right, that we're in, to grow. And man, oh man, they've sprouted into a beautiful tree. It's like a cherry blossom.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Are you seeing this technical pause on your screen, right?
Yeah, I'm just going through here. Tech pause for Summon FC. Okay, so one of the guys on Summon FC is having a little bit of a tech issue. I was hoping I could kind of just monologue through that round and we'd get back into the game, but the tech. Oh, now Chak is DC'd, so that's going to take a minute.
You know what we can do? Yeah, we can go into the mad
Sing.
podcast.
Oh,
no, we don't want it. Already, yeah, people have heard us sing enough times. We don't want any more of that.
That's true.
But what we should look at this, right? And I want to ask you a question on how this works out. The Brimstone versus Omen for Bind. For me, I've always preferred Brimstone on Bind even before the buff, yeah? And now we're seeing even Liquid decide to stick on the Omen for it. For me, I'm not a big fan of that. I love what Liquid Fire does in crazy compositions and changing things up here. But for me, I think Bind, because of the size of it, especially when you're executing, you 100% want the Brimstone smokes in play.
So yeah, there's a couple of upsides and a couple of downsides. Having the Brimstone obviously allows you to take that super aggressive, super fast push play that we will see from a lot of teams, that we saw debuted by Angel of FPX when everybody was playing the Omen. He was the only one that was entry fragging with Brimstone first of all, but then that was even playing Brimstone at a certain point. And to just further build on what you're saying, for people at home that maybe don't know as much about the differences, Omen, you put out your smokes one at a time. You've got 2 max. They regenerate over the round. Brimstone, you have 3. They don't regenerate, but you can put them all down at once within a certain range, which in a recent patch was increased. So you can actually put the smokes down from further away, meaning that your position isn't as relevant as it was before, meaning that he's more viable, right? Because he's more versatile in the things you can do with him and where you can do them from. Now, the advantage of these smokes, they last a hell of a long time now, by the way, because they up the timer on them. But the advantage is, think about the A site on Bind. And if you don't know the A site on Bind, if you're brand new, go back in the VOD or look up A site Bind. Get a picture of it. There's a lot of angles. It's very, very open. And if you're pushing that site with an Omen, it's going to be quite difficult to effectively smoke off every angle for your push. That's where someone like a Jet can be useful on Ascent, as we said before, where there's minimal angles. But even with a Jet, it's so damn open. It's difficult to use. We've seen it in the past where you'll use Jet smokes to block up the holes and then go in and put a Sage Wall up. But in general, you're going to want those Brimstone smokes, pop them down. You can block off every angle on A and they last a long time, whereas that's not the case if you've got an Omen. So there is a trade-off, but Omen's Flash, I wasn't sure how long we had, Bang, so I was ready for that to be a long point. But Omen's Flash is very effective for clearing out Hookah, for clearing out Lamps, but we won't talk too much about that because they're already barreling forward as Boaster quickly grabs himself a kill off the back of the Sky Flash. Now they're looking to isolate Eccles. He's all by his lonesome. He turns from the Flash, gets a kill on Doma, holds down the control, but he's being hunted, and I don't think he's got much of a chance there.
A good trading game considering the lesser weaponry here for Summon. But now Scream has to be very careful on a going round like this. Sheriff in hand, he taps away, but he can't find any success of it. Plant's going to come in and Boast is going to provide some cover. Stim Beacon coming into full effect as well. Get him charged up to find further forward. But they've now allowed Scream to be able to get his hands on this Phantom. Oh, the Hellfire comes in. Forces Scream out of position. He runs straight forward. They're still trading out though. This could be a one for Liquid to try and pick up here. Mo's tucked away in bathroom. His position is not going to be checked. He's going to hear the information. He's heard both players running forward and can pass it on as well. Jack playing off from the side, easy first headshot landed, spots out the second player as well, and now Link is certainly done for. Too many angles to check, too many players to find. He's going to try and work his way into the first kill, locks it down to start off with, taps it again, but will he bait it out? He's sticking it, he's waiting it off, he doesn't want to force into him, and Mo runs through. Nicely done with a 3-0, and the bonus round in for Summon. Okay, they had a couple of Phantoms in there, but not everyone had fully upgraded. So that's something beautiful to work with. And Liquid now, they got to be scared.
You know, I love the kind of poetic irony in that last round of Link swinging on Shaq and taking the frag when Shaq knew where he was. Because actually, just before the game, we had a little bit of an issue where Link was on 1,000 ping. Now, you know, I've heard arguments, 100 ping versus 70, yada yada. 1,000's pretty extreme. It's hard to play on that. So they were potentially going to have Sliggy to come in there. But, we got it from our observers. Shaq had actually said in the lobby chat, thank God Link came back. Connor is so much better. That's Sliggy, their coach. He's saying, thank God, because the coach is so much better than Link. And then Link wins out that 1v1 duel. So that was it's a nice little bit of, oh, I'm bad, am I? Because I just killed you. What does it make you? It's all banter among friends. That's the thing I love about Valorant as well. I don't think we have any, like, actual aggressive rivalries, right? Everybody's friends. They even boasters saying, like, I respect Angel so much, I want to be him. It's like, we don't get that in too many other games. We're just, everybody's, you know, happy and pally. I just can't wait for a LAN event and get everybody together.
Yeah, as long as you're fighting out on the server, I'm happy for the love outside of it. That's how it should be. Team Liquid, though, for now, they need to find a way to get a round on the board. This is going to be a tough one with a lack of weaponry in play. And Doma was smart there. The flash doesn't get him. Means they didn't have the information straight away, but this push on up with the molly going forward is going to create the extra space for him. Smoke's about to be deployed at the same time.
30 seconds left.
Interesting by Jack. He's clearing this out.
Right in.
So now they know that there's only going to be one player here. The rest of those orbs are going towards spawn. They know exactly where he is. Oh, they can't quite win the fight just yet. There it is. Sight's clear. Wall goes up. That wall's being put down as a fake, but also it's there every single round, so you can't tell if they're faking or if they're fully here. Scream, though. Ult up online. Dashes out on sight. Takes a frag, and now waits for his teammates. This is winnable for Liquid. They have ults online still, and there's the final one going out for Sky. The information gained. The player's spotted, but Scream has to force the fight on the Stinger. Cryptic's there to save the day, but still a 2v2. Time is ticking. Liquid ain't got a lot to work with here. They have to force the fight quickly. Utility is gone. Scream got to be the one that swings out, catches the first, but they have no idea. Mystic could be waiting in Bath to swing out and take them as they go for the defuse, and he takes a frag to put Scream on low HP with no time. That is an easy win now for Mystic, and a fourth for Summon FC. Really well thought out round for Liquid, considering where they started from, though, because they only had weak weapons like Stingers. And they made this a very costly round for Summon, not just in weaponry, but also in ultimate economy.
The Seekers from Sky on both sides were used to perfection. For Summon, they were able to push on out with it, know that the site was clear with only one player being Eccles on the site. And then, when it came from Liquid, they did it to push their way around and take the fight aggressively to the members that it would first find, keeping them busy, keeping their hands tied. Beautiful stuff, and this is what we wanted to see. Sky high level play coming in. Summon get the fourth round, but even it got close, right? There was a way in where Liquid could have been able to grab it. Now Scream's going to find himself very aggressively in the bathroom. He's trying to stay up, he's trying to stay long, but he can't get it done. They're overrunning him and gunning him down. Eccles does well to even find the kill in a situation like that, but Liquid is still going to find themselves on the back foot. Cryptic's playing